disappointment. Now the vice president often tell me, since he got a seat as vice president, how many persons have I recommended in this government to serve in the government as presidential appointee? Zero. Every appointment in Nima County was done by him. He and I would discuss something as a brother. To implement it, you will bypass me and do different things. I don't talk on it.
Now you need to see us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to beef? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
The good person in our whole United Party, that President Parker. You want to say that again? The only person that appreciate good among all the United Party for that President Parker. The rest are ungrateful. The right, they use you and dumb you. But President Parker, if all of them were thinking the President Parker and behaving the President Parker, United Party will have another chance in 2029. Just for now, they do not regard people that help them.
Three of our soldiers were executed on this party ground. 2 at the back and 1 right at the headquarters. The man who shot and killed our people today is a darling boy in the Liberia National Police. They brought him back to shoot more guns. Get ready to shoot. Because we challenge the status quo appropriately.
Inform them the violence or any student because of their action. It will be the day the entire Garguah administration will cut down. We will massively violate the students in this country and we'll shut down the Garguah administration. The day that happens, we have the capability to do so. And if they think this is their renovation project is a joke, let them try it. The fall of the Garguah administration begins with this. If they think they will tumble on any student in this country or at the university like going and work away with infinity, while our children saving opponents and logic in the Western world, while we are subjected to agile power and bad learning conditions here, and the thing will say.
In the first 100 days, no car will get stuck on a major road in this country. And I mean it.
You say it out loud?
It's going down. First blow. There you have it.
That led to decades of war still run deep. But so too does the longing for reconciliation. A reconciliation defined not by political bargaining or by an artificial balance of power by tribe, region, religion, or ethnicity, but by the equality of opportunity and a better future for all Liberians.
Garguah can lie, the government, all the ministers in the government, they can lie. They don't put all hustle, they put a hustle, they lie. Everything they say, they never say the truth.
Today, the supporters of His Excellency Joseph Garguah presents him as a poor man from Lofa and asserts that he will understand the plight of the poor people. Fellow Liberians, do not be fooled. Vice President Garguah is not poor like you, not even as me. As Vice President, his office received more money from the government budget than any other Vice President has received in Liberia's history. He has enjoyed some of the best and most lucrative government jobs.
First of all, there's this, what I call sort of vicious lie about the fact that Mr. Pewee is gay or bring gay lifestyle to Liberia. It's complete bullshit. When people can accuse you of stealing people's money, when they can accuse you of being involved in war, anything, people don't make up stuff. They don't make up shit. Excuse my language, right? So it's complete nonsense. I'm married, 8 Teresa, 2 children, 5 grandchildren. I believe in traditional family values, so it's complete bullshit, complete nonsense.
Young man, vice president, young man that are vice president, the major stole 500,000. I mean, Jamaica, the major went to, I forget that Jamaica, the majors went to Ghana, the fit, and they may bring it all company in the country. I mean, Kun, they can reach yourself. Kun, man, you know, Kun, but I want to sophisticated, quiet, hardcore rule in Labro. When I remember, when
2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There wounded out first. All men on board.
Everywhere there is no school, I will put school. And everywhere there is school and school in bad condition, I will renovate it. I told them, towns and villages, everywhere you will have lights in a town for children to play and people to see. I told them, every town will have safe drinking water.
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
The government that capital Rosemont, B Road, all kinds of places. I think the reason Joseph Boakai will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.
Your league Costa, God know how to pay people. It's just simple. Costa that accused everybody but himself. Everybody, Joe, we join, we kill Joe, he killed Joseph Boakai. Boakai still living. Joe, no, you leave better. He made me senator. He almost made Joseph Boakai president until he screwed up. We gave God the glory. Yeah. Well, Boakai, when he screwed, he said, oh, we don't want to make sure we fought for him to be reconciled with the president. And then the people who fought for him. Look, yearly Costa, you will come. And Costa was in a podcast, he said, they don't been calling me. Okay. The time you were calling me for me to carry the president, Boakai, did I put it on radio? That immaturity to do what you're talking about.
And I
no, son,
guarantee you, when we finish, there will not be a winner or the loser. Today, we all wear the jersey of Liberia. And the victory belongs to the people, to the peace, and to our democracy. As we begin to build upon the foundation of this new Liberia, I, George Seleke Kromah, the new president, will first give thanks and praises to the Almighty God for the blessing He has bestowed upon our country. And I say, my people, thank you,
We elected on 85 irresponsible men what happened to the country. We elected on 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, the 9th of the 3rd month in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2026. We are back on the platform that brings you the news, current events, backed by facts, by our sources. You can fact check us. If the story is wrong, it will not be our fault because we do cite our sources. We'll tell you which newspaper, who was the editor, who was the author of that story. And you can go and fact check. That's how it should be done. And if it is our own opinion, we'll let you know that this is our opinion. And we do have a lot of those. And we will tell you that it is not the official position of the management and sponsors of this particular platform called the closing argument. That's what sets us apart from everybody else. If it is our opinion, we'll let you know it is our opinion and take it for whatever it is worth. But it is substantive when it comes to the news. We will have to quote you, our sources. That's how it should be done. There will be no hearsay, I say, they say, here. There will be no G's. There will be no gossip. Obviously, there will be no vulgarities allowed. There will be no insult of any kind. You can disagree with me all you want. I can disagree with you all I want, but it should not cross that thin line of disrespect. We will not attack you personally. We do not condone insult personality, religious beliefs, or political view. We will criticize you vehemently, critically, loudly, and you do the same. What I like about the closing argument, there is no shortage of political opinion. That's why if the conversation is not about CDC and the Unity Party or them against us, most people have no interest. But we try to take another side of that story. Whether you like it or not, it is our duty. We are duty bound to bring you news of substance. You know, in America here or in the West, they say if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. Because, I mean, I know it's a stereotype, but what they are saying, mostly we don't like to read. So when you are talking to Liberians, mostly Liberians, when you are talking to them, and if the news doesn't have emotion embedded, then it's not good enough. But the reason I like the closing argument is we have a lot of critical thinkers. You can have your PhD, you can have your MD degree, but when you come out here and you say something that don't make sense, somebody is going to take you to task. Rightfully so. We will be here. You will leave us here. You go around and get a G's, come back here for substance. Today is Monday, the first day of daylight saving time. We have sprung forward 1 hour, so now we come out 5 p.m. on the eastern coast. It still remains 9 p.m. in the Republic of Liberia. The time doesn't change in the Republic, so you are still on at 9 o'clock. We still have our What's on Your Mind segment. So in your comment section, if we have time, we'll open the phone line for you to call in and tell us what is on your mind, maybe before we went or after we went to press or after we collected all of our headline, they may have been developing stories. or there may be something developing in your neighborhood that you think is newsworthy. Put it in the comment section. We do read everything that comes in our comment section. So don't think you are writing for nothing. No, whatever you write, we will look at them. So today is the first day of the new time in our republic. And those of you who get off at 5 p.m., you are on your way. I know you are listening to the closing argument. When our 4 panelists show up here, we will begin to engage each other on the topics. But I am privy to bring you the headlines from the Republic of Liberia and few internationally. You know what is dominating the news is the war in Iran. How have the war affected us locally? In Africa, the third world countries. For those countries that are behind, how has it affected them? And for Liberia that is behind, the countries that are behind, according to Dr. Moniba, what can I say? If the war in Iran is affecting the countries that are behind, just imagine what it's doing to us. We are behind the countries that are behind. That is an assessment of a critical thinker. Liberia turned 204 years this year from the time the settler arrived in 1822. They began to put things in motion for a republic. It's been 204 years. Don't be fooled by this thing called independence since 1847. We were before 1847. Those who want to begin at 1847 reminds me of the old joke from Liberia. They asked the young man, "How old are you?" He says, "I'm supposed to be 12 years old, but I was sick for 3 years, so I'm actually 9. Same concept, Liberians. We are 204 years old, but you say, well, from 1822 to 1847, we were not alive, so don't count it against us. Let's start counting at, beginning 1847. So here we are, after 204 years. Dr. Moniba, after traveling the rest of part of Africa, came back and said, we are behind those countries that are behind. And he named some of those countries that are behind, like the Ivory Coast, Ghana, Senegal, and so forth. And then if you compare ourselves with those countries, you will agree with him that we are behind those countries that are behind. And then if you come into the Myean River Union, when you are listening to the news and things that are happening in Guinea, in Sierra Leone, we are still behind those countries. So you see how further behind we are going. We are behind those countries who are behind. So that's who we are. That's what we are. So today we are looking at some news that were generated in our newsroom, some headlines, and then we'll go into details. Trending in Monrovia based on our news crew in the studio, production in Liberia. We'll be looking at some breaking news in the Republic, beginning with the Liberian Senator, Honorable Myean. The topic surrounding Myean has become somehow a manufactured self-inflicted scandal or injury. The Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission clarifies Myean clear only of some allegations particularly about payroll padding. Not all of the corruption they are saying. What they are saying there is, listen, what was on our agenda was that Senator Myean was accused of corruption by padding the payroll at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. According to the opposition then, the Unity Party, absent proof, due process of law. And today, after they have sifted through the records, there was nothing about criminality. It was nothing but political jargon and rhetoric and propaganda. So here we are, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission on their own post. They issue a press release 8 hours ago. It says here, press statement for immediate release. The Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission clarifies issuance of clearance to individuals following investigations. The Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, LACC, wishes to clarify recent public discussion and media report regarding the issuance of clearance to individuals who were previously investigated by the Commission for alleged act of corruption. The Commission notes with concern that the issuance of the clearances has been widely politicized and, in some instances, mischaracterized as an action intended to benefit a single individual. This interpretation is inaccurate and does not reflect the facts surrounding the Commission's actions. The issuance of clearance is a standard administrative practice undertaken by LACC following the conclusions of investigation where no evidence is found to establish wrongdoing or to support further legal action. In keeping with the principles of fairness, transparency, and the due process of law, the Commission formally communicates the outcome of such investigation to the individuals concerned. It is important to emphasize that the recent clearances issued by the Commission were not limited to one person. Rather, they were granted to a number of individuals who were investigated by the Commission at different times, whose cases were concluded with findings that did not warrant prosecution or further actions. The following individuals were investigated, and the Commission did not find probable cause to prosecute 24 to 25. Hassan A. Kubasi, Chief Executive Officer, CEO of BMC Group Construction Company, Liberia Telecommunications Corporation's case, vindicated. A.J. Amakonen, Liberia Refugee Repatriation Rehabilitation Commission, vindicated. Richard Hoff, Deputy Director for Operation Liberia Refugee Repatriation Rehabilitation Commission, Vindicated. Dr. Pokpa G. Zeze, former medical director of Bong Mines Company case, vindicated. Honorable Chair B. Garlic, Deputy Director General for Administration, LACRA, vindicated. Honorable Seleke M. Kromah, Postmaster General, vindicated. Mr. Patrick Pewee, Director, Procurement of the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication case, dropped, vindicated. Ms. Vivian G. Walker, Procurement Director, National Disaster Management Agency, vindicated, case dropped. Mr. Nathaniel F. McGill within the Ministry of States for Presidential Affairs payroll padding case, dropped, vindicated. Abraham B. Kamara, payroll analyst, Minister of Finance Development Planning, in the Lofa University case dropped, vindicated. Joseph F. Sharif, Finance Manager of Liberia Football Association, dropped, vindicated. James N. Flomoya, former chairman LINCA, Linka, dropped, vindicated. Vakmana B. Wamu, vice chairman of Linka, dropped. These are the findings of the LACC. If you talk to folks on the streets and in the Republic of Liberia and on social media, no one, including myself, knew that these many people, over 15 people, were under investigation. Under investigation, tried, not tried, but thoroughly searched through the records. And these people were vindicated. Their cases were dropped. But one name stood out. That name is Senator McGill, Nathaniel F. McGill. It looks like Senator McGill is the one individual that the entire Unity Party, all its citizens, and everybody else that was anti-CDC wants behind bars, no matter what. As long as Nathaniel F. McGill's name is on the list and his case has been dropped for lack of evidence, our entire judicial system is set on fire, ablaze. These people are saying, like they did Jesus Christ, crucify him, crucify him. In the absence of evidence. Nobody from the Unity Party or the ruling party ever mentioned that James M. Flomoya was accused, investigated, and vindicated. Nobody mentioned Abraham B. Kamara, payroll analyst, Ministry of Finance, vindicated. Nobody mentioned Mr. Patrick Pewee, Director of Procurement of Ministry of Post and Telecommunications, vindicated. Nobody mentioned Dr. Pokpa G. Zeze, former medical director of Bong Mines Company, vindicated, no case. Nobody mentioned A.J. Amakana, Liberia Refugee Repatriation Rehabilitation Commission. He also was accused of corruption. but because the name of Senator Nathaniel followed McGill. It's mentioned among the 15 names I just read here. None of the other 14 means anything to them, even though it was the same standard. This is what we are talking about. Crucify him, even if the evidence doesn't support his crucifixion. Let me welcome our great panelist, co-host, Madam Fanta Kamara. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Mr. Gayman. How are you?
I see you are professorial today. I see in the background you got a whole library of law books, business books, comedy books, you name it, you are ready. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How are you? How have you been?
Thank you very much. And I like your title, Uncensored. That's what I'm talking about. Now you scare a lot of people, you do uncensored, because when you want to talk about the pape or the Oma, then they will say, no, man, you can't do that. That's our elder. Liberia is an interesting place.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a debate, I think it was at the University of Florida, and there was this thing about elderly care and this respect for the elderly. And a young man, a scholarly young man, got up and said, is it possible that some of the elders in this room that are now considered senior citizens, do they all deserve our respect? And the guys, the other team said, yes, they are elderly. And he said, but look at some of the elderly. Some of these seniors said they were rapists, they were murderers, they killed people, they raped babies. Now that they are in their 80s and 70s, do they deserve our respect as those who are here, who are not pious, but they live a life of distinction? How do you put the two groups in the same category? So this is where we are. Like, remember, say, no, don't say that about a man. He's an elderly man. But do all elders deserve the same respect? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. That is such that's such an interesting take, because I absolutely share that sentiment. Look, I think the Quran, to be very specific, the Quran put it very clearly, or God puts it very, very clearly. Honor your parents, honor the elderly if they obey God.
Mm-hmm.
If they're in alignment with God's commandment, then honor them. If they are not, right, respectfully disassociate. So this thing, and it's very cultural, that has been ingrained in us to absolutely discount the crimes of human beings who happen to have aged, right? Who just happen to have aged, to look the other way because they are elderly. It is absurd. As we hold people accountable, no one is off limit. No one should be removed from the quote unquote law or accountability. And so this justification or this notion that you have to respect the elderly and you have to honor the elderly if they are respectable and have done respectable things, absolutely, we should, right? Because when we also age, we will want to be respected. But if you led a disgusting life, a life that was murderous, a life of pedophilia, a life of violation, a life of lawlessness, what type of respect do you deserve from society? That is the question we have to answer. What type of respect do you feel as an elderly I deserve from society when all you have done is abuse that very society, is violate that very society? is betray that very society. So what do you think you deserve? All of these, and when I look at the landscape of our older politicians, not one of them hands are clean. Not one of them. These people constantly prey on suppressing, right? They constantly prey on the marginalized and the impoverished. They lie to them to claim to want to serve them and serve their interest. What do they end up doing? Using them, abusing them, violating them, disgracing them, oppressing them, mind conditioning them. Oh, that guy, man, you just forget about it. No, we're not gonna forget about it because that's how it is.
Yeah, don't talk to the old people like that. You know, you gotta be respectful. I mean, and this one, it is a condition that is cultural universal. Where the Christian would say, respect your elders so that your day may be long. So if you don't do it, you will
die. Can make my day long.
Yeah. If you don't do it, then you will just die. Not sit there. So they try to scare you into obedience that you shouldn't question authority, you know, and all of that.
It is psychological conditioning, and we have to move away from that as a society. It's killing us, truly.
It is killing us. But yes, the first topic on our show here was the LACC clarifies that it looks like they are feeling the heat from within to do what is wrong, even though they're doing what is right. A case from Nathaniel McGill and 15 other folks came before the LACC after months of investigation came back that these people, cases would be dropped because they do not have evidence to persecute them. And they have 15. But the entire social media went bonkers. When they saw Nathaniel McGill's name on the list, they are saying, no, this man should never be vindicated. He was accused of padding payrolls and stealing and all, and they find out that the evidence is not there. It was political, it was propaganda, but the whole media landscape is, they forgot about the other 14 people. It's all about him. And now it looks like the LACC is feeling the heat. They have to come back and say, well, it's just one aspect of his vindication. There may be other things we'll be going after. And I said, this is not the justice that we are talking about. You cannot, in a true democracy, something called double jeopardy. You cannot take Fanta to court for stealing, and then once she says, the court said, well, there's no evidence she didn't do it. And he said, okay, well, maybe she didn't steal here, but let's go and check in her life whether she have ever done anything that resembles this, so we can nail her to the. This is what we are talking about. It is mind-boggling. We come out here and we talk and we show evidence and we do everything, and yet and still our minds are not changing. The young people's minds are not changing. They are replicating, they are a copycat of the elders. So we are not moving forward. We're just doing the same thing that we're doing. Talk me time. If you don't like your opposition, you chase him until you find a law that he breaks, and then you nail him. Talbot, Doe, Taylor, Ellen. And here we are in a modern age. The same thing. Your take on this issue.
Yeah. Anyone found guilty of breaking a law should absolutely be prosecuted to the full extent that the law allows. Unfortunately, in a country like Liberia, where there is no care for rule of law, everyone enjoys this sense of impunity. And then so when you want to apply selective justice, it not only erodes the credibility of the justice system and the very laws, but it brings our moral thresholds, right, into questioning. Because on what basis, what at a minimum, fundamentally, can we say as a society that we can uphold, right? Across the board. Across the board, we can, with this metric, with this lever, we can maintain, irrespective of political affiliations, we will apply no matter what. It's non-existent. And it's intentionally designed that way to show that the perpetrators, the current perpetrators, they themselves do not or cannot be held with any level of accountability. So when you see what's happening to Miguel on live, right, happening live on Front Street, on Broad Street, as they say, it's simply political prosecution, right? It's political prosecution, and neither side, the UP or the CDC, both of them have not served the Liberian people. Because if CDC was serious about actually running a sensible administration, what they had done, right? Most of what they did was not going to be done. Let's just put it simply, right? They were actually going to work to serve the people. And then when you see UP have an opportunity, where they're operating from is this place of very nasty, negative grievance. La matin, I will do my own too. I will show you. Oh, you want to vindicate this man? You can't vindicate him. Yesterday, he littered. He dropped paper on the street and Mary broadcasting. So we have to lock him up because of that. How does it serve the people? If the very systems that have been orchestrated to ensure that we operate as a functioning society, credibility erodes, right? Credibility erodes. How do we operate sensibly? How do we hold people accountable when all that happens is, oh, you do your own, I will do my own too? Right? This hate for country, this hate for one another. I don't understand it. So both parties here are very much guilty in my eyes. The CDC did not serve, or Miguel in his term, I'm sure he had he was engaged in a lot of nefarious acts in his term or in his service to country. I don't think he had a perfect record. I also don't think the manner in which the UP is prosecuting this case is fair. We absolutely cannot say that, because how do you have 15 people and then 14 gets vindicated and the one you are still trying to lock up because of what? Right? So it doesn't allow the public to truly have any type of confidence in the system. What are we supposed to be judging? Are we supposed to be feeling sorry for Miguel, even though there could be evidence that he robbed the country, that he could have done everything that they're saying he did? But then do we also look at the UP to say they have the moral high ground when they themselves have not had any type of respect for rule of law? They cannot hold themselves accountable. They only have the ability to point their finger. And this is the thing about pointing your finger, because once you do this, there is this coming right back at you that oftentimes we don't understand and we don't realize. We forget this because we think it's going to stay like this. No, it's going to come right back at you. So hold yourself accountable in order for you to hold other people accountable. It's simple.
Ladies and gentlemen, share this show. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And don't forget our section. What is on your mind? Let us know. I know what is on Sarah Dopoh's mind. She's pushing her cartoon in one of these hospitals, so it's all right. Listen, someone has to pay the bills. So keep pushing the cartoon at our hospital. Make sure you take care of your patient. Well, we all need help. We need our nurses. And we want to say thank you to you for what you do, and all our nurses and doctors in the hospital, wherever you are serving. We salute you. Now, don't say we didn't warn you, because in February last month, for those of you that were cheering the incarceration of Prophet Key, We told you this. This was a town trap. It has very little to do with Prophet Key. It's about coming for us. Remember, I won't tell you who the quote is because it's all over the place. He said, when it came for the Jew, nobody spoke up for them.
Mm-hmm.
When it came for the Muslim, nobody spoke up for them. So when it came for me, there were nobody left.
Yeah.
So here we are, they said today, the Liberian Supreme Court, in its initial setting, made another landmark decision or ruling that finally had caught up with all of us. It said the Liberian Supreme Court, vocal social media attacks not protected by free speech. I told you it was coming. You won't listen. You were cheering this on. I think Fanta was here telling you the same thing. No matter how ugly, how discouraging, how demeaning his speech were, it shouldn't have come to the Supreme Court before they began to interpret that this was wrong when they were running for political offices. The president, the Supreme Court Chief Justice, they were all part of this campaign. So it reads, the Supreme Court of Liberia have declared that freedom of speech under Liberia's constitution does not protect vulgar, profane, or abusive language directed at individuals, warning that such conduct, especially on social media, constitutes an abuse of constitutional rights and can carry legal consequences in the Republic of Liberia. Speaking on the court's activities for the month of March 2026 term of the court, Chief Justice Yami Kwekwe referenced a contempt proceeding involving OPA. There you go. Now this is the man who summoned, indicted, adjudicated, found the man guilty, and sentenced him. He using his own case as a point of reference. And he says here, in the Maritime Court, he referenced Chief Yomi Beze, referenced a contempt proceeding involving Justin Opa Yanzie of Zia Town, Tapeta District, Nima County, whose social media comment targeting members of the Supreme Court Ben triggered the legal dispute. In a landmark opinion delivered, landmark. I told you this, guys. I am a sociologist. I'm trained to see beyond what everybody else sees, to hear what everybody else hears. I go beyond that. And I told you, I quoted the late Samuel K. Doe. He said, this thing that Charles is started, it is not about Doe. He said, even when I'm gone, until what they are after they get it, all of you will be dead. Boy, was he right? Here we are. I told you this, and I think Fanta and I had this show. We told you there was coming. Now he is using his own case as a president in the Supreme Court to tell us. He said, in a landmark opinion. Can you imagine this man saying this was a landmark?
But it was landmark because it was absurd. So it was landmark.
This guy is trying to legitimize one of the worst decisions ever made. He says, in a landmark delivered February 13th, the court clarified that while citizens are free to criticize public officials, that criticism must be grounded in evidence and expressed within the bounds of civility. Anyone who has evidence of wrongdoing by a justice or public official is free to criticize and use lawful remedy, including impeachment, through the legislature and the court. Then it went forward to say, and this is ridiculous, He said Article 15A provides that every person shall have the right to freedom of expression, being fully responsible for the abuse thereof. According to the code, the clause clearly anticipates that the right may be misused and therefore places the responsibility on citizens to avoid abusing the privilege. The code here that engaging in vulgarity, profanity, and explicit insult, particularly the public description of women's parts on social media, amount to an abuse of freedom of speech and determine the dignity and undermine the dignity of individuals in the country. He further said, and he noted, that the framers of the Constitution, including the late constitutional scholar Amos Sawyer and members of the Constitutional Advisory Assembly, never intended that a constitution guarantee of speech to permit individual indecent and degrading language. The opinion also, he cited Article 50B, which mandates that the government to preserve and promote positive Liberian culture value compatible with national progress. According to the court, vulgarity and profanity cannot be considered positive cultural value deserving constitutional protection. This is Yami Beze trying to protect himself from criticism. Let me welcome I'm coming to you. Let me welcome the chief himself, Chief Tomalin George I, King George I. Welcome to the show.
Mr. Gayman, good to see you, man. Good to see you, Fanta, Peabody. Again, happy International Women's Day, Fanta. You guys had a very, very beautiful show yesterday. I got a lot of positive feedback. People really enjoyed the show. They say you are at your best again. People say you firebrand. I go watch the show. You were hitting for all angles, and that's what we're talking about. We need firebrand who will always speak truth to power. Well, that was a great show. I hope you guys can organize more show involving women issues and other important issues that sometimes we forget to talk about. You guys always have the time to bring it forward. But people really enjoy the show and the feedbacks. Dr. Kamara, you, Sarah, you guys did a great job, bro. You guys.
Well, thank you for the the recommendation. As I said, like I had this whole draft on why feminism is a lie, and then when you made that suggestion, I was like, this is brilliant. So thank you for that.
Maybe that's why, because Mariah told me this morning she will be coming next Monday, because she said the ladies yesterday, she said, no, let me regroup for them next week, then I'll come on Monday. So she'll be with us next week, Monday. She sent me a message this morning, she won't make it. I think the Supreme Court, having an opening today, the opening of the Supreme Court term of court, where President Boyka was in attendance along with the Dean of the Supreme Court Bar. The Justice Minister, who I feel is one of the most, I don't know how to describe that guy. He's not a great justice minister, or he'll go down in history as one of our worst justice minister, because the way he conducted himself in that position. But it was a great show, and I hope everybody had a great weekend. It was good, yeah.
I don't celebrate those holidays because for the reasons that I mentioned, of course. I think they have just really denigrated women and reduced them to a day when women should be honored every single day. And so for that reason, I'm just like, yeah, this is fake news.
Great. Let me welcome Dr. Peabody. Peabody, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Good to see everybody on this great Monday. Wonderful. I've been following you guys from work, and wonderful perspective, especially on the Mike Gill stuff. I listened to you guys. And Fanta, it's good to see you. You guys did an awesome job of watching yesterday. And I just want to say, man, bravo to everybody. Good Monday, and looking forward to a very healthy conversation.
Excellent. Let's go to the Supreme Court. I used to listen when I was in New York. There was this guy that called one of the iconic sportscaster. His name was Wonder Wolf. He would say, let's go to the videotape. And I used to like that because everything was factual. You say you scored 25 points, let's go to the videotape. And he would show all. You want to talk about facts? Let's go to the videotape. So now we are here, we got a videotape, we got a transcript of the court. I have never seen anything like this where you're talking about someone who is trying to squash the rights of its citizens from speaking out. How then will George Bezey summon me? I'm here in the Miami market. I'm in Florida, having a great time. I said something that you interpret as an insult. What are you going to do? Call the United States government and put out a warrant for my arrest? Your take on this Liberia is a very interesting country. Fanta, your take on this?
Yeah, I just wanted to circle back to the McGill case and just add something, just add a perspective. They claim that so we know that this is political prosecution, and the response that we have seen from the CDC officials or formal officials have been they were acting under presidential directive. So it's akin to living in a household where you say, like, the father, right, is the head of that household, as is true, and the child does something in the house. The child then points to the father and say, well, I'm acting under my father's directive. So should they then be prosecuting, rather than prosecuting the child, should they then be prosecuting Myean? Since all of them are claiming they were acting under presidential directive. I hope you guys understand, because that means that Myean told them.
This case is totally different from that. This one was, he was accused for padding payroll. And
right.
He pocketed the money, and the evidence showed that that was not true. There were not 900 people that he hired, and the money was going to him. All of those found out that they were not true. The one you are talking about is the toy case.
No. But what I'm saying is that generally, right? Generally, they claim to have been acting under a presidential directive. So should we just say close this whole entire chapter and just prosecute George Myean, which you cannot prosecute an ex-president, I believe, according to those of you who probably know.
Well, Liberia, anything is possible. There's no law. There's no rule. They make their own rule as they go along.
Yeah. So I just thought that was really wild, and I think we have beaten this dead horse with the freedom of speech and how it has been manipulated to fit a certain narrative, right? Especially with the existing Supreme Court leadership. I don't even think it's worth spending a lot of time on, because I would really just say to that, he can kiss the blackest part of my pinky toenail. That's what I would say to him. And I dare any of them to hold me in contempt for criticizing lightly, moderately, or harshly their actions. And you mentioned the parable earlier. When they came for the Jews, nobody spoke. They came for the Muslims and nobody spoke. And now they're coming for all of our throats. Are we going to continue to sit back and allow this psychological conditioning to continue? Well, I'm going to reject that. And I encourage all Liberians to reject it as well. Let's not make nice about this and try to intellectualize it and say, oh, it's the law and this, it's about morality and it's about our culture. What culture? The culture that you have degraded every single chance that you get. You steal, you lie, you cheat, you kill. What culture are you talking about? The one that you keep under your feet while you uphold foreign cultures, while you prioritize everything foreign, everything local, domestic, is completely suppressed. And we will no longer allow you to continue this line of dictatorship. This is what this is turning into. We may not be a democracy, but we would never allow dictatorial rulings. It's not going to happen. So whoever that judge is, like he's really feeling himself, like he's feeling himself, like because like he won the perfect Keys case, so like he's thinking, oh, I can use my own prosecution, I can use my own conviction as an example. Hell, a landmark case. Who died and made you the boss of like entire Liberia? You can really keep your rulings to your household because they're the only people who are going to be subjected to abiding by it. It doesn't apply to Liberia. And
Excellent.
So on behalf of every Liberian, I reject it.
Thank you.
Okay?
In the name of the higher power. Let me go to Tomalin George. I know you are deeply connected in the Republic of Liberia. So sometimes I feel so bad for you, man. You are so connected. You got roots everywhere. So when you're sitting down over there, like you're sitting on a hot seat, and it's tough. You know, I mean, this is what it is. Some of us that grew up outside of the establishment, outside of Monroe, we can say all these things, but sometimes when it comes to, you were born and raised, but let's talk about this. Let's go. You were not here for the McGill thing, right? I have the list here. 15 names on here. These people were all investigated, and the LACC found that they don't have enough evidence to prosecute these people, so they dropped the cases. The internet and social media is going nuts because McGill name is on here, and they are saying why they didn't nail McGill. So the entire Unity Party, those that are in power now, they are trying to tell the court that you need to go and get him. Tomalin, this is dangerous, man.
Senator McGill, if you are watching this show, if you watch this show, contact me. I will. You have a great opportunity to get off U.S. sanction, because this clearance vindicates you that you should. There's no reason why you put clearance on you, except where the government asks the U.S. government, say, please give us the evidence that you guys had in your possession to put this man on sanction. If not, you have a great case to make now. So look, our integrity institution, LACC, one of our integrity institutions in Liberia, claiming and so forth. Look, the reality is that the Unity Party and the Alliance ran on the campaign of propaganda. They said that there were a lot of corruption in the Weah administration, and they accused all these people of corruption and so forth. But to go into in the third year, they are yet to put anyone to say, well, the person has been found guilty. They should go behind bars or pay restitution. They have yet to do it. The campaign they ran, they said people were corrupt. I mean, I'm not backing no one. I don't know what they did in office, but at least you should have the evidence by this time to say, well, yeah, what evidence we got that you guys betrayed the trust of the Liberian people. We have the evidence. So that's why we agree with the U.S. government. But the first thing you have done, so well, U.S. government, work with us. You sanction these officials. Please help out with the evidence. Maybe we don't have it, so we can prosecute them. But up to now, yet to happen. So the LACC, which is supposed to be an integrity institution, came up and said, well, these people are clear. And you people are pissed because all those who are accusing these people, they are not pissed that they clear these people. So are they saying that because we are political rivals or we are political, we are not on the same side, so you guys should have not cleared them? If the facts are not there, if the evidence are not there, you cannot justify why these people, you charging these people, you're indicting them. If it's not there, you force them to do it. So, I mean, you may not like that. For instance, in America here, the Supreme Court issued a ruling the other day. It was 6-3. Trump can't stand it. He said, if I will do all things to go around that ruling. I'll issue an executive order. I'll do all kind of stuff. But, he don't have that power. You see? So you may not like when the issue about Roe versus Wade, when it ruled, that 50-year law, when the Supreme Court struck it down, Biden spoke. He said, well, I do not agree with it, but that's the law. That's the law of the country. They issued a rule, it came up with a ruling, and they strike it down. You have nothing to say. So instead of them making noise, let them prosecute all the cases they have. Go after all the cases they have. Because it's going to haunt them in the coming election. People will say, well, you guys said you have evidence, and when you take office, you will bring all the people to justice, you prosecute them. But now, the integrity institution is saying these people are clear. So they get into the core of their feelings. They're not happy with it.
But didn't she take that back, like to say they never said that?
You see, like my friend Gayman, a strong Republican, Trump ran on the thing that he would bring prices down. He would never get involved in another war. He would never attack Iran. All the things Trump said, it come out of hunting now. Today, our Republicans say, look, you know something? I'm Republican no more. I'm leaving your party. I run as independent. They just brought a majority. The raise up team now. Majority have less to work with now. So the guy left the party today. He say independent. So the guy say he's not part of the Republican Party no more. So now he's not even going to caucus with them, except where he will vote on his conscience. So now the majority of the guy got is little. Not much he can do. So now majority will be forced to work with the Democrat now because he ain't get that much room to linger around. The same way happening. You ran a campaign and said people were corrupt, this and that, and you bring them to justice. Kind of found out now, you yet to put anybody in jail. The cases are all just around. The case with Twer, they're just pushing it around. The case with McGill there. The case with Fonati there. They tell you should take a different place. So right now, the government, their hands are tied. You see, today the president attended the Supreme Court opening of the Supreme Court, and he was talking about we shouldn't talk about honorable with this and that. We should talk about party, we should talk about Liberian people now. It getting to the point. Look, Mr. Gayman, Fanta, and Peabody. If the opposition get together and they are strong, put aside the personal ego, this government will not survive in the first round. Because what they have done to themselves, they isolated themselves from the majority of the people. And it's true, I said the other day, it is true. When we used to go to Liberia or during weird time, if Fanta was in UP, on another party, we will meet, we will mingle. So now we drink, have fun, socialize, make fun. But this time it's like the minute they see you with somebody say, you see that man, he with the enemies. So the country is so divided to the extent where everybody look at today. I'm chatting as I speak to you right now. The guy who resigned today from LBS, I chatting right now. Kamara, we're chatting. That's a guy who people respected highly at LBS. He resigned. It's a big thing. What's happening? So look, the government got their hands are full, their hands are tied. They are just now looking for a room to maneuver. So if LCC say my case is clear, you can't change the LCC decision. They have spoken. So all you can do, look for something else on McGill now. But you can't say you force this man to be prosecuted. You're forcing him to be guilty. That's not how it works. So we're watching from all angles. It's up to now to this government. The hands are tied. So Mr. Gayman, I think they should abide by LCC ruling. They have spoken. If they have a problem with that, then they go to court and say we agree with you. We'll go to court. But for now, the body charged to investigate these people, to prosecute them, whatever the case, have cleared them. So let people be great.
Great. Dr. Peabody, we got 15 names out here, but they had only one name interests them. And the danger of this is exactly where we are. You cannot, like Fanta was saying earlier, right? You cannot apply selective justice. If all of these people that are on here and you want to try all of them, take them all back. But why would you do that? That would be considered something similar to double jeopardy. You send me to court that people say, the due process of law says you don't have enough evidence here. Then you are telling me to go manufacture to make the evidence so we can nail these people. That's not the justice system that we need in our country.
Gilban, again, good to see everybody. Look, we did it. We're talking about government that is totally disrespectful to the rule of law. We talk about McGill, but you saw the Supreme Court rule in favor of Dr. Dr. Dopoh Christian. What did the government do? The government came up with another interpretation that they were going to appeal the decision of the Supreme Court. I don't know. They said because one judge was sitting there, one justice was sitting on the bench, they want to appeal it to go to the full bench to do it. Justice Ministry or whatever came up with written communication, I think on Saturday or on Friday. So the fact we're talking here is, that's why I was so disappointed to see the president sitting there with the Supreme Court, the very Supreme Court that you never follow the order. You don't even agree. You don't even go by what they say. And you sitting down and say the March term, and you and your Justice Minister all sitting there. But the entire ruling from the Supreme Court have not been honored by the executive. The government have not honored it. We saw it in the Fonati Kofa case. And we saw this again in Dr. Dopoh Christian. Supreme Court ruled almost a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks. What are they doing? Why has he not been reinstated or been paid? They are refusing, and they are coming over another lie and say that it will appeal the decision. So what we're talking here is, I mean, even if you don't agree, that's the law. The law is the law. Senator McGill, they said we clear him. Now, because it did not incriminate him, so they're not happy. The goal is to get him indicted and get him into court. That's what they want. But the LSCC, I mean, I'm not a fan of them too much, but if they've made a decision and they don't like it, at least you must respect the law. You must respect the law. Okay? You may not agree with them, but you must respect the law. And that's what we've seen, that they do not. The government is more concerned about what they want. Even if it required them to ignore the law, that's what they will do. If it required them to ignore the law, that's what they do. And that's what we are looking at. But why I think Mr. McGill should go home and relax and enjoy himself. He been clear. Like it or not, he been clear. So everybody must respect the law. But everybody's fighting McGill because he's a hustle name. So even if he didn't do it, they might incriminate him, because that's what we want to see. But the other 14 people you talk about there, or 15, all of them were clear. All of them were clear. In fact, people that are working with this government that were involved in even the head of the LSCC, that Martin, have been involved in a lot of corruption himself. Okay? Other people in the Barca government that have been clear. Okay? They all have serious stuff on them, but because they're not McGill, so McGill should be arrested, which is stupid. Very stupid.
Fanta, the LSCC evidence fell short of prosecution. They just don't have the evidence. On top of that, Mr. Finlay Kanga, who is the head of this, was found to have extorted money from his employees. Hire them, and they have to give him $500 of their pay a month. And the gentleman filed a complaint showing evidence. Money transfer monthly. He said he has gotten to the point where he could no longer afford to go to work and pay his bill. And he showed all the evidence. This is how much I've been paying my boss. And he showed evidence that the boss are even threatening him that if he doesn't pay on time. This is the chair, the CEO of the anti-corruption. Jesus. Before we close it, let me go to you. So, in the absence of evidence, I don't know how you persecute people.
I told you, like, Liberia needs a military dictator. Like, this whole rigmarole, this whole kakalaka story that is literally every single day is the same thing, right? The Malawala Balawala story, it needs to be put to rest. Liberia needs a military dictator. These people don't listen, they don't hear, they are fakaos. If you kill a being and you fakao, you cannot operate in a sense of democracy because you don't even understand what that even means. You don't understand how that system operates. So Liberia, you go into every single offices, they have a special cabinets for all of their files. It's ridiculous. They have folders and folders on folders on policies and frameworks and this and that. What about applicability? Nobody applies anything. Because the same template that comes from their Western partners, Jaha they give it to them. Jaha the World Bank give it to them. Jaha the anti-corruption international entities give it to them. Jaha the IMF give it to them. Jaha these entities give it to them. That Jaha they take it and they pack it. They don't read it. They don't care. There is no interest to apply morality. Therefore, what are we doing? We cannot continue to talk about these things every single day. The whole story is like Tomalin love. If Tomalin not flog you, you can't love me. And say, oh, the men not love me. Like, so, like, when are we going to resist this abuse? At some point, we have to point the finger at ourselves. We the people have been psychologically conditioned into accepting this as normal. This is not normal. This is very abnormal. This is not healthy. This is a toxic relationship.
Let me hold you there. We got a quick caller. I want to make a comment. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you, Gayman. This is Abraham calling from New Jersey.
Go ahead.
My dear sister, Fanda, she packing me up here talking about Tomalin. You speak bad?
A little bit. So you're gonna lose me, but go ahead.
When the bad man say you couldn't pay, it means to say you're high over it.
I learned something new. You conquer. You're a high-headed woman.
You conquer. My grandmother used to say that to me all the time, Mamusu.
But thank you guys. I appreciate it. Let me say to Peabody and then my dear brother Tomalin, man. Fascinating topic. You know, look, the division being created by this government in Liberia is coming to the point, I will not say it's indelible, but the hard feelings that the way you try to destroy people unabated, and you think that they're going to clap for you in the future, it's going to harm a lot of people. They need to be really careful. If they live through the war of Liberia, today people are hunted for just minor things. And today, after 20, almost 30-something years, the war in our country, people are still being hunted for things that they exhibited while they were in power. So it's the case here. The reason you see the United Party people running with this Myean issue, Myean is just not an ordinary person. Remember, this is a winning chairman for a political party that defeated United Party. And the kind of crowd that he pulled out recently in Bone County, it frightened them to the point that they said, no, we got to silence this man, we got to incarcerate him. Predicate on that. They would put all the things on, expecting something to stick on him, so that in fact he can be removed as a senator and subsequently incarcerated. That's their goal. That's the reason why you see they are so angry like this, and they're going hell-bent, especially the lies that they ran with for years. Just imagine, my dear brother Gayman, if you had a $10 million case sitting in Lufa County, you had a $5 million case sitting in Lufa County with a university issue. Those things should take precedent over thousands of dollars you claim that Myean squandered through payroll paddling. But no, it's not a priority to them. The priority is that they must silence all the vital voices, opposition voices in the country. They will be silent and subsequently incarcerated and maligned to the point that they will destroy them. Dopoh is not a CDC person, but because he took his case. He followed the laws of that country. Today, United Party tell you they go into the full bench because they know President Garguah have appointed 3 people on that bench that are going to sign with them. That's the reason why they tell you they're going to do that. So this is not politics. It's a bad governance, and people really need to speak on and speak about it. You're talking about 15 people on that thing. The guy for LRRC was relieved by the LSCC. The guy from the University in Lufa he's a United Party people. But no, it's not important to them. Myean's issue and Emma Glasgow and anything that has to do with CDC is a question because that's what the catapulted them told. The power that they're holding today And today, they cannot substantiate those things. And Liberia going to ask them come 2029. You told all this, what happened? None of these people have been found guilty of anything. Look, let me close on this, my brother. Myean is a friend, okay? When all this thing noise came about that Myean built $1 million home in our country, my brother, the first time I visited Liberia in 2018 or 2019, I went to Myean's house. I was stunned. I'm not tired how they're telling me that Myean built $1 million. I said, well, wait a minute, what's the $1 million home here? Even the car could not even tell her in the yard. But that's the kind of lie they fabricated and dumped on the people, and it's stuck on them. Like today, they can't prove it. They are angry. But again, thanks for the time, my brother.
Great, guys. Our segment that says what's on your mind is still going on. I like the young lady said, Fanta, I think you got her laughing. She said, I'm laughing from Swakoko prison. She's in the prison yard, she works in the prison, and she listens to others and she's laughing. And that's a great one. Yes, but this is what we are talking about. Doctor, you guys were not here when we discussed the Supreme Court, this speech thing that I think we shouldn't take lightly. Is a serious one where the Supreme Court Chief Justice is now using his own case as a landmark decision to lock people up. And he's targeting, he said, social media in particular. Dr. Peabody, your take on this before we move?
Look, Mr. Gayman, today I watched the Executive Mansion live, and I posted on a live feed that Yami Bwese is the most corrupt and incompetent Chief Justice Liberia ever produced. And I can say it anywhere, you know. I mean, he's sitting in the country and trying to threaten people. You will not allow vulgarity. You will control me whether I want to cuss or not. You don't got to tell me. You don't want got to make the decision if I want to cuss or say anything profane, that you don't want to tell me to do that. What we're seeing here is just an abuse of the law. You know, chief justices should be people who are scholar of the law, people who understand, interpret the law to the fullest. That man not a scholar. You know, that man can show you one professional legal journal that he ever wrote. Not one. You take some incompetent man like that, making Chief Justice of the Republic. That's why the law will be flawed, the law will be broken, the law will be not there to help the Liberian people. And then yet and still you sit there and cry, you say, oh, no investor coming to Liberia. Who want to come and invest on such a corrupt legal system? Nobody want to do that. Nobody want to come there. And we've seen that. I'm not a fan of Prophet Key, but you got a young man in jail only because you say he insulted your mom. So you abuse your power, you abuse the law, and sentence the man to 6 months in jail. That will go, and that case will harm a lot of people in that country. Most of the people calling themselves lawyer or interpreting law, it will harm a lot of people. There's no way somebody get jailed for cussing. I mean, I don't support his use of vulgarity, but there's no way people get arrested. And we see that the most incompetent Chief Justice ever in our time, Yami Bwese, and he's there punishing people. I don't believe fact he say. I don't believe anything because he's corrupt. I don't believe
it. There's a big one coming out here, Fanta. This one is huge. And it's on the front pages of two of the major newspapers in Liberia. Front Page Africa has it, and the Liberia Investigator has it. And on the front page, it says here, LGEA top officials playing with drug money. That's the investigator here. And Front Page Africa wants to know what was the actual amount. And it says that the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency is facing reduced scrutiny following leaked audio and internal document that review conflicting accounts regarding a huge sum of money that was seized. At Bow Waterside, the controversy stemmed from the February 19, 2026 arrest of Boubacar Jallo, an 80-year-old Guinean national residing in Carwell, who was apprehended with 519 packs and 19 strips of Tepido, Tramadol, at the Bow Waterside point of entry, along with the Liberian government. Authorities estimate that the street value of the drug was $72,000 approximately. However, the issue attracted public attention is the conflicting report regarding cash allegedly found in the vehicle used to transport the drug. Conflicting situation report leaked document obtained by Spoon Network show 3 separate situation reports allegedly written by Special Agent Abdullah F. Kromah, County Commander of the LGA Grand Cape Mount County. There's a lot of money involved here, but Fanta, I thought the president said they had clean house, they brought a new group of folks, and now here we are, the drug dealers. The people who will be arresting drug dealers, they themselves now taking the drug dealers' money, $150,000 US. These people took the people's money, arrested the man, and now they can't account for the money. Everybody says something, oh, what is going on in this country?
I don't think like any of us can answer that question in a way that makes any type of that restores any type of hope, because when you have already diagnosed a system such as the one Liberia practices, back to my terminology, corruption as a service, it's like they wake up in the morning, that's what they have for breakfast, wake up midday for lunch, that's what they have, they go to bed at night, that's what they have. It is so deep in their blood, and it's in fact embedded in the soul of the Liberian officials, because it's mostly the leaders. I want to go even as far as to say, the president claimed to be tough on fighting the war on drugs, but as we saw, right? I believe this was during the Nixon era, when his wife's platform project as a first lady was say no to drugs, say no to drugs, say no to drugs. When we found out that it was the CIA, right, who was importing drugs from the cartels. And till this day, the CIA has an active relationship with the cartels, as in the government of the United States has an active relationship with the cartels to bring in drugs, allegedly. Shall we say the same for Liberia? Does President Boyka have a relationship with the drug cartels? Which is why no serious actions have been taken to quell the growth and the gross corruption of the gross corruption in the LDA. Right? He has spoken out a few times. I have not seen him vehemently, unequivocally denounce that this was unacceptable and it's a crime that was deemed an emergency, and there were endless resources dedicated to eradicating it. When you're serious about eradicating something, when you're sick, like you want to take all the medicine you can to get well. Even if you just have malaria, like, and you don't have say anything else, you'll be taking running stomach medicine, you'll be taking abo medicine, you'll be taking throat scratching medicine, just because you want to get well. Even the Kehleboe that you hate, you will be taking it just because that you want to get well. You want to rid yourself of this discomfort. Why is Liberia not seeming to be engaged in any of that? It's because I strongly believe that the top is involved. I strongly believe that Joseph Boyka is engaged with the cartels, and which is why his leaders in the drug agency do not seem to care in terms of ridding our streets and ridding our communities and our youth of drugs, allegedly. But that's the reason.
Dr. Peabody, we are talking about disappearance of $150,000 US in one day. It says the LGA, Mr. Jackson said, they only reported the drug to him. He didn't get the cash. The second report came in saying It was 150,000. The third report said it wasn't 150,000. It was 100,000, but they can't find it. I mean, what? I mean, God, you and I here, we're work our butt off, and we can't even say $50. These people talk about 150,000 US dollars in one day. One day.
There's something called Gobacho in Liberia.
You cho.
Gobacho.
So how come I'm not chopping? They're chopping.
You know what happened? That money went to Gobacho. So they know what the money is. They know what to do with the money. I mean, they're just not going to report it. They took it to Vada, and they're not going to report it. That because of drug money, so they're not going to report it. That Gobacho, so they ate it. They're not going to bring it up. Nobody's going to bring that money out. You got to divide it. You see?
You see how well dressed they are? Professionally dressed.
They got well dressed. You got $100,000 coming to you.
150,000
coming to you. Do you think that man will ever find $150,000 for drug dealer and deliver it? Do you think that man has the mind to do it? Do you think he has that kind of mind? The money and then you go by Charles. They ate it. They're not going to report it. Nothing going to happen. That's how bad it is. You see, what they had to do with money, they can report the drugs, but they'll not report the money. I can tell you that. They can report the drugs, but they'll not report the money. And you can't bring in that kind of money. You think to report it? Go ask. What they're saying is, go ask the Marine.
Find out this is, like I said, the Frita message is past mark. They have changed people at this agency. Dr. Pianua, this might be the third or fourth person. It started with A.B. Kromah, then Kromah came from there, they added somebody. Kromah and the Fadiga brother were fighting over, some people said drugs, some people said money, some people said this. They changed those people, they brought somebody in, then they brought this new guy in, they said, oh man, we got it this time. And his situation is even worse. Yep. Wow. Fanta, this is serious stuff.
Yeah, Mr. Gayman, as I said, sometimes we don't like to have uncomfortable conversation. One thing at least in the last 10 years, actually, that's a lie. For as long as I have known myself, for as long as anyone has known me, like my mom used to tell me when I was 2 years old, I was very intuitive and I could just sense like fake people. And so my best friend was the one guy in the community that everyone thought was the craziest man. Like how you say, like, oh yeah, that man crazy. Like he drunk all day, he on a dumper. That was my best friend, right? His name was Cruzo. Like that was my best friend. And it was because like we even at that age had really brilliant conversations. I thought he was the only one who understood me. Look, we have to get into a space of pushing buttons for the people who are responsible for making our lives for making our lives uncomfortable. So we have to make them uncomfortable by calling them out. We cannot shy away from that. If the head of the fish is rotten, the entire body is going to be rotten. We cannot remove Jose Nyenwolo from this. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I take that back. I'm not sorry. He's responsible. He's responsible. As I said, he doesn't care about fighting any type of war on drugs. He does not care about that because he's getting kickback. They're all getting kickback. So who are we continuing to lie to? Like we pretend as if we don't know what's happening. Are we going to start like to start having different types of conversations, or we're going to be acting surprised every single day? Like, oh, yeah. They said the men do the one. The can steal. No, what you will do? No, I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that. I want to call them out. If Jose Nyenwolo feels like he is not involved in the trafficking of drugs or getting kickback from drug dealers and the drug cartels in Liberia, then let him speak to the public. Otherwise, he is involved. If you set a precedent as the head of a country, as the head of anything, the trend that you set is what your cadets will follow. If you're the commander and you set rotten trends, your cadets will follow rottenness. That's the code. The code is whatever the commander do. You do what the commander do. So if my commander was clean and my commander was like on the straight and arrow, why would I dare? I think it was you or was it Tomalin who said when Charles Taylor was president and he went to church and he was like, well, where is the rest of my cabinet? Why didn't nobody come to church? And he fired all of them. The next Sunday, they all went to church. Right? Precedent. I can only get away with, I can only do what my boss allows me to do. So if Bweka allows his cadets to get away with corruption, it's also because he is corrupt. What are we mincing words about? What are we shying away from? Respect what elder? A criminal elder? You guys might not say it, but I will say it because it's my generation who has been impacted the most by this nonsense of operations in Liberia. And we say no, we reject it. We will respect the elder who is respectable. The one who is not respectable, we will put you where you need to be put. Go retire, grandpa. Get off the plantation. Like, what are you doing? Who are you helping? How much money can you steal? How many lies can you tell? Don't you understand? The lies and the stealing that you're doing is deteriorating the society that we are supposed to be inheriting. So that when we come into leadership, it's so difficult to get rid of this systemic corruption. Is that the legacy that you want to leave? You should be thinking at that age, you should be thinking you have been fighting for so long to get into to become a president. Now that you're a president, your record should be spotless. Your record should be spotless. And instead, it is corrosive. It stinks. The fish is rotten. And it's because the fish head is rotten.
And this is what we have said from the beginning. We are panelists. What we say here, what we do here, may not necessarily be the position of the platform. If the platform has a position, then we make it clear. It will be in writing. We say this over and over and over. That's why we bring guests on. This is why we bring panelists on. We all have different views. Understandably so. And we should. We are not singing the choir here. In fact, we have a choir. We have a good one because we have soprano, we got alto, we got bass, there you go. So everybody here has their own tone and we can defend ourselves. And we also let you know from the beginning of every show, our disclaimer is what we say here is our own opinion. If we have anything, we will tell you with the newspaper. We quote the newspaper, the date and time, and you can go and fact check us. Mr. Abu Kamara, you've been running from this show for so long.
Yeah, he wanna come to talk about his corrupt managing director at the National Port Authority.
You sit back there and you said it seems like
that when he shows up, when you talk about how the Port Authority manager defrauded the Chinese man, then he shows up.
Seleke Kromah, he be running from Kigali. He said, "Oh, every time you come on the show, you just criticize Cummings. You don't like Cummings. You know what kind of people?"
But Mr. Gayman, yes, a case. Mr. Gayman, yes, a case. This Chinese guy came to Liberia. He was defrauded. He accused the managing director of National Port Authority. Million. What happened in the case? Why didn't go parading all Maria that declare him? Did you hear anything again? So why they making issue of my case when your managing director of the Port Authority were accused of robbing a Chinese man for $6 million? Did they make any issue?
Listen, Dr. Peabody, what Prophet Key did is more dangerous to our society than than somebody say $6 million. $6 Somebody $6 million they brought to the country to invest, to hire people, to pay taxes. You stole it in one shot.
Get it, man. Yeah, Gorbachev fra. That was called fra.
There he goes.
There he was cool. I told you, so he mentioned that.
Welcome to the closing argument. Okay, go ahead. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you, man. I'm Kamara, and I'm constrained to call. Peabody, the issue that I had to do with the Chinese man and my boss, I went laid to rest long since. If I recall vividly, the Spoon Network, one of the media platforms in the country, was used by the Chinese man friend to clear the airwaves. My boss was invited by the LMP as inscribed within the Constitution that all criminal matters must be investigated by the Liberia National Police. Onward to the court if there is a probable cause established. That was done. Due diligence was afforded to the Chinese man, and that was my boss man. My boss man was exonerated. He has a letter. Tomalin is in possession of the letter. The police cleared my boss man. And it is unfortunate that all of the time, my own good friend and senior brother, that the people who are working hard esteem, every time he keeps talking about this story. The matter has been laid to rest. My boss man was exonerated. He did not take a time. He's a man with integrity. He has a lot of things taking on to improve the process of our country instead of discussing things that for me is not relevant.
Okay. That is a member of the United Party Response Brigade.
No.
His job is to troll the internet and follow everybody who say anything. Say,
I told you.
My boss. Yes. Listen, the same way I can name 1,000 other folks who have been exonerated. And I can name one who did absolutely minor stuff, like Prophet Key. And he languaged in jail 6 months.
Yep.
And possibly for life. Because they say when he gets out, he doesn't get a bond that says he will not curse anymore.
I can't believe that. I just think that.
He will remain in jail for life.
I cannot get all that thing. I can't believe it. You look out.
Let's go to let's get into something special here. This one is historical. It said that the assassination of President William Laura Talbot, Gerald Barkley's gripping new documentary premiered in South Africa at the South African Film Festival. This is a professional documentary. It's an award-winning Liberian film director and cinematographer, Gerald K. Barkley, is preparing to release a powerful new documentary examining the assassination of William R. Talbot Jr., Liberia's 19th president, and the historic event that reshaped the country's political destiny. The film, titled The Assassination of William R. Talbot Jr., was premiered at the prestigious Johannesburg Film Festival this week and revisited dramatic events of April 12, 1980, when enlisted soldiers of the armed forces of Liberia stormed the executive mansion and assassinated the president, bringing an abrupt end to the more than 100 years of American Liberian political dominance. The coup led by the soldiers who overthrew Torgbean government marked a turning point in Liberia's history. 10 days later, on April 22, 1980, the new military ruler publicly executed 13 senior officials of the Torgbean administration by firing squad, following what critics call the kangaroo trial in the Republic of Liberia. Dr. Peabody, this is something that we need to talk about, that we all need to look at. It looks like this would be a little more intellectual.
Yeah.
Those who can film it, who can stream it, I think we should look at this film. Let us look at history from another prism, and we can criticize it. But let's talk about the assassination of this president. Let's talk about what brought about the anarchy the execution, how it transpired, what transpired, and what have we learned since from this tragedy? It's a great film. I think we all should stream it live and watch it. Your take on this?
I rather hope that Jared would have put it found a way that we all can watch this. Look, Mr. Gayman, I'm not saying that the Talbot era or the Miracle Liberians was the best, as indigenous Liberian claim. You know, they were overlooked, they were ill-treated. But it appears that once they came in, Liberia turned for the worst. Indigenous Liberians. You know, since 1980, Liberia have not been the country again. We have pretty much country that we did far better than in the 70s, in the 60s, the 70s, have way past Liberia. Liberia is at the bottom, even below countries that were doing better than during that time. It's because our self-greed. You know, we cried and cried, oh, the Congo man take our country, the Congo man want to do this. We came back and trying to treat somebody like as if we are Congo as well. One man said that maybe it's how the Congo people behave. That's why we behaving to they learn the behavior from the American Liberians. That's why they are treating other Liberians. But we've seen our own brothers and sisters, traditional indigenous Liberians that came to power. It had all been chaos. It had all been blood, killing each other, greed for power. Because of that, Liberia remained at the bottom of developing country. Liberia at the bottom of developing countries, you know, because of our self-greed. We come in, we don't want to get out. We go in, and we're doing our own thing. Corruption, we're fighting each other, we're killing each other. Since President Torgbean, let me be honest here, Liberia have not been a country. To be honest, Liberia have not been a country since President Torgbean. All we have seen more rampant corruption, because the 1980 coup was about rampant corruption and misuse of public offices and stuff like that. Do you remember when they asked President Doe that day, what policy? He said we're going to keep the same old policy of President Torgbean. So then why did you give President Torgbean? You're going to keep that same old policy. It even went bad. We saw coup d'etat, people being killed. We saw one ethnic group that was targeted. Then it went into a whole ethnic war. Gio, Mana, Kran, they were killing the Mandingos and everybody. We started killing ourselves. And even with the coup, after Doe assassinated, have Liberia ever changed? No. We are at our worst stage now. I can say that because we still don't have the kind of electricity we need. We don't have no direct foreign investment in our country. Healthcare is at the bottom. It's the worst in the country. The education system is the worst in the region or around the world. I mean, everything's just bad for our country since 1980.
Fanta,
Mm-hmm.
let me take you back to 1815, 1817, 1818, 1820.
Not 1820.
Yeah, I know you were just a little girl then.
I wasn't even a thought.
There was a Speaker of the House in the United States named Clay. Clay said he would support the deportation or the transfer of Black folks from this continent to Africa because he felt that we are incapable of leadership, we are incapable of self-improvement, that the Black man was and is just incapable of self-governance. So Henry Clay had been dead almost going on 150 years. And those of us who said he was racist, we are now scratching our heads and saying, we have been trying this since 1822, 204 years this year. And if you took our resources now and what they had when they came in 1822, we have now moved the needle an inch. When they first came in, there were no public utilities. We don't have any now. There were public defecation. It's still going on now. There were no education system. We don't have any now. So there was Clay heading somewhere. Is Clay a soothsayer? As much as we dislike what he said, we have failed at self-governance. Fanta.
There's so much to unpack there. The one thing that is true, however, is I keep saying this, and I know often we ignore it, but it truly explains why we do the things we do, or why people operate in the manner in which they do. Everything goes back to the psyche, to the human psyche. Not to get too psychological, but it's really important because a simple psychological program can truly shift a full-fledged adult narrative or perspective on certain things. It can shift a person's mindset from being a functioning, reasonable human being into one who just does the bidding of their masters. The repatriation of the Americo-Liberians to Liberia was not done for the sake of the African Americans. They wanted a pet project. They wanted a pet project, and they found the right group of people to execute that project. They wanted to continue to colonize unofficially. So a group of businessmen got together, lobbied their way to the government, and made it happen. That's what you see. They say at one point in our history, they say, oh, Liberia was colonized. And then at another point, you say, oh, Liberia wasn't colonized. It's because this wasn't an official, this was nothing on the books. With the ACS and like what have you, it was all a business transaction. So you have a group of people who come to this land. It is not out of error that when you look at the coastline, you get on a ship from the great United States. Liberia, or the Grain Coast, was not the first destination on the Atlantic. The past several other countries on the Atlantic until they finally got to the Grain Coast and decided to settle here. Instead of acknowledging, collaborating with the local people, because once again, this was not the idea. The idea was not to come in and go back home, right, and be reintegrated with the African society. This was a pet project, a colonial pet project. And so Liberia fit the bill really, really well. So when the Kim from the Constitution was adopted, Liberia never drafted its own organic, original Liberian Constitution. The Constitution was adopted. Up to today's day, the Constitution that Liberia uses is built from the American Constitution since the 1800s. So when you look at all of this, you ask yourself, how is it that Liberia and Liberian leaders continue to operate in this manner? It's because they're still taking orders from their colonial masters. And I really push back on those who say Liberia was never colonized. You are a fool. And we can have that debate. You are a fool. Because the definition of colonialism is to take over. Simply put, Liberian natives were taken over. Liberia land was taken over. Liberian currency was taken over. Liberia culture was taken over, hijacked completely. This is important because I know we're getting into a bit of history here. So historical context is absolutely important here. So when this is the origin that you're trying to recreate away from the African history, the true African story of Liberia, the King Salbosos, the Bassa Kings, the Vikings, the Gola Kings. If you remove that and we take Liberia in its origin associated with the American Liberians, this is the origin of that history. Probably even goes deeper, and historians can definitely keep me honest here. When you adopt everything from a foreign land, you have eroded, you have removed your identity. You have been psychologically conditioned into thinking everything outside is better. Everything here, African, we must negate. There are documents, evidence that the American Liberians enslaved, whether they want to call it slavery or not, enslaved the local Liberians when they arrived, practicing exactly what they claim to have ran away from. They treated Liberians as slaves, and I'm not talking just literally. I'm talking in actuality. They trafficked Liberians. Please look this up. It's public information. We need an awakening. Liberians, the local Liberians were trafficked. The American Liberians deemed themselves superior. And all the rights that the local Liberians had were usurped. They were not allowed to have rights. So when you have generations come out of that, you have your Talberts and your Tubmans and your what have you, and they practice the same exact thing, superiority, Freemason. There are videotapes of the Talberts, I believe. Historians keep me honest, on videotape, claiming that they are a member of the high society, right? We can even, I know Myean is not well today, but we can do a fact check right now. The video is out there. I forget his name, but he was the head of the Foreign Council of the Senate or the House of Representatives, claiming, oh yes, we are members of the high society. It is the white men's club, and speaking like the white man. This is the conditioning that was done to Liberian and Liberian leaders. Therefore, every leader that came had to abide by that template. Any variation from that template, then you were not part of. So when you see the coup happens with Doe, yes, part of it, a huge part of it, was because the local people had gotten fed up. Let's just put it simply. But Doe, what most people don't know is that Doe did not act alone. Doe was acting in alignment with the CIA. Doe was a CIA agent. Maybe not officially, but he worked along with the CIA to orchestrate the coup against Talbert. Do you know why? Look this up, folks. This is not Fanta Kamara say, I just happen to be a geek. But please look this up. You know why? Because Talbert started adapting anti-Western policies. He started moving away from pro-Western, started normalizing ties with the Soviet Union, with Cuba, denouncing Israel. Please look this up. I'm happy to share my screen. I actually have it up. I'm happy to share my screen for those naysayers. Denounce ties with Israel. Moving away from pro-Western. That's why they killed him. They didn't kill him because of the Liberian people. Like, Doe didn't orchestrate a coup by himself. He was not that smart. He was smart. But he didn't do it because of the people. He did it because Talbert changed his policy. And his masters, you would think, as a common man, you'll be acting on behalf. That would have been your motivation. That was not his motivation. Doe worked with the CIA to get rid of Talbert. In fact, as of recent, the TRC report, there is someone from his administration called Chia Chipu, something like that. From the TRC report. He testified that a CIA white man was the one who shot Tolbert. And evidence of that, right after the coup, you know what happened? The Reagan administration gave Liberia $500 million. Imagine 1980.
1980. Ladies and gentlemen,
$500 million.
The film is coming up. The gentleman's name is Jerome Gayman.
So we have to understand these things. It is not, it's deep.
So
it's really deep.
The assassination of Willard Tolbert is going to be a beautiful film, guys. Watch out for it. Let's go to
see, Mr. Gayman, like you want to get into history, but then you want to sweep over the history. I don't understand.
No, not at all. I mean, what we are doing here. I mean, we have four more topics before 8 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, we should be out of here.
Okay, I'm gonna go pray. I'll be back.
Yeah. Please do. I think we come and we got to cover some of these stories. We got to cover. I think Musa Belete wrote something today, and it is called "The Letter from Seleke Kromah." I think it was profiled by the closing argument. I think the closing argument covered that. And I'm so sorry that the young man is sick. He can't be here.
Myean not well today?
No, Myean is not well. He's very, very sick.
Oh, wow. So sad, man.
Yeah. So we will discuss the letter from Seleke Kromah. Hopefully Victor Nagbe can come in. When he comes in, he will be able to shed light. But let's, Doc, we want to talk about this Front Page Africa report on honor-age betting.
Honor-age what?
Honor-age betting has sparked condemnation in the Republic of Liberia. Months ago when I came, I think I mentioned this. I was driving around by one of the embassy staff, and around Monrovia, they were showing me the casinos. Casinos everywhere. And we sat down, well, after we came from one of the areas, we sat down in the car and were discussing. We actually drove in one of the casino yard way on the hill somewhere, Moreau back way there, somewhere they call it. We parked there. And we counted all government official cars. And we sat there for about 27, 30 minutes. You couldn't find one regular person in that casino. And the officer in the back said, "Do you know what this means?" I said, "No." He said, "This is national security here." Mm-hmm. He says, and this is something that I shouldn't have said, but I gotta say it because it's actually bordering our threat, our national security.
Right.
He said, "Jerome, these casinos are brought in by the Chinese, the Lebanese, and the Indians." He says, when you go in there, all you're going to find will be government officials. He says one particular government official was in the red, 15 grand.
Wow. Wow.
Couldn't pay.
Hmm.
They took him in the back to talk to the owner. And this person said, and the outcome of that debt was, listen, we got a bill coming up through the Senate. We want you to push it.
Hmm.
Mm. So what they are saying here is, out of our minerals and our rare earth that they've been talking about, all of these things, these people bring in things like casinos. Because, listen, Dr. Peabody, you and I know Nobody, no regular person in Liberia has money to go to these casinos. Not you, not me.
No. How many people get money or take pay to go into that?
There you go. But you had the huge casinos everywhere.
Wow.
So this is how it's a new way now of taking our resources without paying a dime, because Peabody is in the house. We bring him in there, beautiful girls, everything is going, and he just keep playing. He win the first $1,000. He say, "Oh, I got this."
Right.
And he keep playing. By the time he turn out, by the night, he's $10,000 in the red.
Yeah.
You gotta go talk to the bookie. Where do you get $15,000 from to pay me back in 24 hours or whatever? So you gotta make a deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the guy told me this, I sat down and I said, "Wow."
Yeah. I know another place that a lot of them go.
No wonder all of our concession agreement is against us.
Yeah.
This is what's happening. So yes, Dr. Peabody, you chime, this betting thing, it is so serious. And what getting to me is that the Senate now, instead of talking about themselves, they are talking about children being indoctrinated to play. Liberia is a funny place. It said the chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Accounts and Audit, Senator Kamara has raised alarm over growing involvement of underage children in gambling activities across Liberia. Can you imagine? This man is not talking about gambling in his own Senate, but he's talking about the
who got money? Who got the money to gossip? I mean, to gamble besides the people who work the government official. And when you go to that Marina restaurant in Town, that where all the government officials are gambling. You go that night, you see one of those who hold top position in the government, they're gambling at Marina Hotel, right in Town. What they used to have the old I don't remember it was a hotel there before they changed the name. But everybody they're gambling. That's what they do. You know, and you wonder where they get money from. That's why they start money from all these Liberian people, other people, take heavy bribes. They come that night smoking cigar, walking with cigar in their hand, acting like, you know, some of them don't even know how to smoke the cigar. They're holding it all over and say they're gambling. And all the big boys get together and drink and smoking. The Chinese people make huge sum of money from them. Huge sum of money they make from them. And you wonder where they get that kind of money from. How much pay they make in Monrovia to be out there gambling $20,000, $15,000 and pawning things and stuff like that. You wonder how much money they make. And you know how they're going to get it. They're going to rob people. They're going to take bribe to get the kind of money to do it. So, I mean, the fact is they got a lot of betting in Liberia. Now, the biggest one they're dealing with there is the sport betting. They got serious sport betting almost everywhere. Every game you play, you see little children, older people, everybody coming to bet. Everybody coming. They're betting, they're gambling, and stuff like that. So, you know, I mean, I don't know what that country will be like, but we have no laws that we follow. That's why you even have children as young as 15-year-old will go to a bar or go to a gambling place, and nobody will ever care to ask for ID card. What happened in the national ID card system? Nothing like that. So, you know, you can't even distinguish who's young, who old. Everybody. You see some of the top people who they behind. These young little children, they're walking all around with them. So, sad, though. Sad for the country, Mr. Gayman. Very sad. Very sad.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you know what we are talking about, if you have seen these casinos and you have ever wondered, because some people don't even know what casino is. If you have never gone into these facilities or you know somebody, as we are speaking, just get in your keke or your pepe, drive around the Congo Town back way and go that way and see these things we are talking about. And sometimes just go in the yard and sit down and look who's going in and out of these casinos. I was expecting that Honorable Kamara would have addressed this as a national security issue, but he's talking about the children are learning how to bet and the future of the country is in danger because of the children. But he's not talking about the senators that are taking the country's money that was supposed to be spent on these children's future in school and education. They're stealing it. But you want to blame the little children who are going to the games and betting 5 cents, $100 Liberian dollar, and you want to equate that to $15,000, $20,000. So Amara Kone, listen, man, we all ain't stupid here. We know what's going on. Before you take the core out of these children's eye, take it right out of your eye in the Senate. Your friends and cousins and brothers that are in the Senate and in the House that are betting $10,000, $20,000 at these casinos at the expense of the Liberian people. You see here? Dr. Peabody, are you reading what Mr. Abu Kamara said there? On in the Ramadan month, you, Kamara, you're supposed to be praying to God for forgiveness.
Yeah, I mean, people play gamble, but not kids, though. They're not the senators then that go gamble and take all the money for the department to go and bet it, and then you sign it due to put in the Senate. It doesn't work like that, Abu.
Abu Kamara, let me tell you something. Dr. Peabody has disposable income. Okay? After he not pay all his bills, a few dollar level, he want to go meeting himself or entertain himself, that's fine. He want to go do a toenails, pedicure, that's fine. He can afford to do that.
Yeah.
In Liberia, where there is no income, forget about disposable income, there's none. And you come in here, I think from Dr. Peabody, I think Abu Kamara is defending his boss. Your boss might be one of those people.
Abu, till you talk about his boss corruption, he said his boss was clear. Let him show the letter that his boss was clear.
Abu Kamara, find out here we are.
I will show the letter. Your boss was clear, show it.
I am here, Fanta talking. When we talk about hypocrisy at the highest level, we were at this casino where we saw all the top government officials, senators, directors of different agencies going to the Chinese place and betting. And the gentleman that took us used a case in point where a director or big government official were in the red $15,000 to the Chinese. And they took him in the back to meet the owner of the casino. Didn't have the $15,000 to pay. According to our source, the gentleman said the Chinese man told him, I have a bill that's coming up. We want you to help us push it. So they were swapping $15,000 bet in the red with pending legislation coming to the House. This is what we are talking about, how corrupt these people are. And then people wonder, how can 66 or 68 concession agreement is anti-Liberia? This is what we are talking about, Fanta, if your internet is okay. But this is what we are talking about. And Amara Conan says, he says nothing about the 15,000 or 10,000, but he's saying children are being indoctrinated and it will affect the future of Liberia. But the millions of Liberia, you're stealing from their future. You're not talking about it. Your take on this gambling hypocrisy.
Let me just remind those hypocrites out there who want to sugarcoat this. Gambling is forbidden in both Islam and Christianity. Forbidden. And I believe it is forbidden in all of the Abrahamic faiths, as we refer to that.
And cultures too, just cultural is.
Yeah, so just to remind people, because they often like to, they like to paint a different picture when it suits them, right? And try to justify wrong. Wrong is wrong is wrong. If you have a gambling habit, you need to go see a psychiatrist at this point, not even a psychologist. You need to see a psychiatrist. You need to be admitted and you need to probably be medicated and cured, because it is something that is addictive. When you started, like, you start winning a little bit and you get this adrenaline, right? This motivation that, oh, I can win more. And by the time you realize it, you always end up in the red. As they say, right? The house always wins. Look, when I say, also let me just add, Americana is a hypocrite. They all are, right? I don't want to mince words about that. They're all hypocrites. They often like to point to the local people as the problem when they are the ones designing the problems. Liberia should not have any gambling centers. Gambling as a business should not be accepted in Liberia. Just how, and it's so ridiculous. I have to remind myself, I'm fasting. It's ridiculous. Pape Boyka, I need to be respectful. It's ridiculous, Pape Boyka, to suggest that, oh, because of the drug crisis, you're going to ban shisha. And you saw the next day the rating of every shisha shop. You take shisha, we take shisha from you. No shisha for you. But where is that same energy with the gambling crisis in Liberia? Do you see how our society is denigrating? Like, I mean, the moral decadence that is at play here. I don't know if Liberia has ever seen it. It's as if one administration after the other, we seem to just be on the downhill. Where is the energy to deter, to implement deterrence when it comes to real ills in our society? As you mentioned, the money that's supposed to be going to that school, that hospital, in Bapalu, right? There are schools today in Bapalu for Senator Kone. Let me be respectful. God, fasting. There are
all over the country. There are schools all over the country.
Senator Kone, God bless you with fasting.
Yeah. There are schools all over the country.
I'm telling you, you know how much it costs to just renovate a school that zinc is leaking. The children are in class, and when it rains, the water is falling on them. They are sitting on mud block, so they're trying to read with a carpet book. The water from the zinc is falling on their carpet book, and then it's sitting on the mud block. So by the time they finish that class, the entire floor is wet. Then the mud block is saying, "Oh no, that one finish melting." That's Liberia today. And yet, these hypocrites will have the audacity to lecture the children on the ills of gambling. Gambling is wrong. No one in our society should be engaged in gambling. But once again, you people who are at the head, you are rotten to the core. Your soul is rotten. You engage in these acts. Your friends engage in these acts. Your brothers engage in this act. Your sisters engage in this act. Your bosses engage in these acts. And then you have the audacity to lecture the poor people. Oh, save your 100 lewate. Oh, I know that 1 cup of red 100 lewate. So save your 100 lewate. Oh, but you know what? That 15,000 that's supposed to go to your market or to the training school. I'm sorry, I owe the Chinese man 15,000. I can't give it to you. Where is the accountability? The House of Representatives, all of them.
In the meantime,
yeah,
while we're on this here, this is the headline here from Bapalu. It says here, elephant kills elderly man in Bapalu County. Senator Kone, I want you to look at this picture here. If you
go face Bapalu, I beg you, go face Bapalu. The roads are terrible, the schools are terrible, the clinics are terrible.
Senator Kone is not the popular work minister.
He the one speaking out. He seems to be the one speaking out. So if he
Senator Kone is not the popular work minister.
But listen to this though.
Everything is Senator Corner, and he's a decent senator. He meant well for the poor.
Oh yeah, but listen to this.
He means well.
Listen, I could say the same thing about Dylan. I could say the same thing about Yeka. I could say Yeka Kolova is he full of curse, but he's a decent guy. He's a nice guy. You know. But listen, this is Bapolu County, where the people that are struggling to survive, going in the bushes to find food and being killed by elephants. Okay? And you think the senator will be talking about economic development in Bapolu that will benefit the lives of the people. He's talking about gambling, and his people are being killed by elephants coming into the town.
The elephant must live. The elephant must live.
He doesn't control that.
Okay. He controls the contract.
He's not a public minister. What's the wildlife? We have any wildlife protection in that country, all the stuff. You're trying to put everything in the senator. He must be the senator. He must control wildlife. He must control health. Oh my God.
If you cannot control your home, you cannot maintain the welfare of your home. You cannot prioritize the well-being of your home.
Don't put it onto the
So Kamara Kone is not part of the government, right? The government different.
He is putting all the L's in the government.
He's not fighting no L's. He was part of the CPP.
All the L's in the government.
He was part of the CPP, was he not?
Dr. Peabody, if a man can leave his house to go find food so deep in the forest that elephant kills him, you think he had a choice if there were jobs in the area, if there were opportunities for him to support his family? You think in modern day
do that community farming? There you go. He went to the farm. Why did he go in the elephant way?
He cannot get out of this, though. Just like if Mr. Nagbe were here, he'd be trying to get out of here.
I'm not following it all over the group.
Dr. Peabody, tonight you won my Presso Award. You are tying yourself into knots.
No.
You know what? I will quote Tim O'Neill, the former representative from Massachusetts. They asked him, said, I will say this again. He said, Tim, said the U.S. Congress approval rating is 8%, but yours is 90%. He said, yeah, everybody like their own crooks. So they like me, my people like me. So there you go. People that like his Kamara Kone, no matter what happens, Kamara Kone is
doing a wonderful job, though. I think I'm not doing a wonderful job. I'm proud of him. I'm really proud of him.
I am not be proud of him. Come on, get on the floor. He Johnson, my man, like, no, not me.
I haven't talked about the last time I met Amara that was in Germany when they were Liberia independent.
Wow.
The last time I saw him. 2 years ago. 2 years ago or so.
Listen, guys. If you listen, guys, in the comment section, please let us know what's on your mind. I know what's on Abu Kamara's mind.
Abu, the MP manager on his mind.
That's on his mind. But yeah, guys, whatever on your mind, let us know. Let's talk about it a little bit here. But yes, this man needs to pay attention to his hometown, bring some economic development to your town, so your folks. Hundreds of years ago, our forefathers used to go in the jungle to find food. Bapolu is one of the richest counties with natural resources. They got diamond, they got gold, they got bauxite, they got everything. And if you cannot, and the population is very low. If you cannot advocate for your folks to get modern jobs, hospitals, clinics.
Bapolu has a modern hospital.
Yes.
Modern hospital.
That the grass have taken over.
Yeah, but when you bring the Minister of Health, the Minister of Health that fighting all day, you bring them.
Whose side are you on here, Dr. Peabody? You on your Liberian people side, you on your friend's side. Just make it clear.
On the Liberian people's side.
You on your friend's side.
I'm not on your side.
Okay, guys, let's go to at least a decent news here. Liberia and Japan seal $16 million deal to rebuild Freeport Gabriel Tucker Bridge corridor. I think that's a great news. I don't know whether it's a loan that we have to pay back with interest or it's a grant.
Nothing free.
You want to pay loan, sir? Would have paid that?
Yeah, man. The
Of
government of
course.
Liberia has signed a landmark grant agreement worth $2.45 billion yen, which is equivalent to $60 million US, with Japan to rehabilitate a critical corridor, the roadway linking the free port of Monrovia to central section of the capital, marking a significant step towards improving transport efficiency, addressing long-distance infrastructure challenges in the city. The agreement concluded in Tokyo will finalize the construction of the Freeport-Gibraltar Bridge corridor, 1.9-kilometer urban area route, and serve as one of the busiest commercial transport links in the Republic of Liberia. Dr. Peabody, this is great news.
Yeah, it is good news. And we wait to see what come out of that. But it is good news. I know they signed that contract, but there are other ramifications to that, and want to see what happened on that contract. But Japan has always been with us. If you look at the Ghanansville Highway, I think it was the Japanese government who also financed that project and helped us carry out that project. So the Gibraltar Bridge is a strong, since it went down, great way of transportation. Since it went down, we have not had that opportunity to actually rebuild it. So that will be a good move. The Port Authority as well. And we're looking forward to see that come to fruition. We're really looking forward to see that happen. But again, Japan have always stood with us in those kind of areas.
Fanta, when was the last time you were in Liberia?
Just a few months ago.
I don't know whether you have ever traveled to Liberia with some guests. If you have some foreign guests in your car, have you traveled along the corridor we are talking about, like going towards that looking town and all that? And we got to, I think there's a Catholic school down there somewhere. And when we turned left, I mean, the garbage, I'm talking about a few, in January when I was there, the garbage. And one of the guys in the back of the car said, "This is not bad." He says, "It was worse than this." And it brings me to what Mr. Gongloe, Councillor Gongloe said. We have become a nation of elitism. It's bad, but at least, it's better than what it was. This man stole 10 million, but at least it's better than spending 100 million. They will never tell you that it is wrong, that we need to find solution. It's always at least, okay, this man, at least this person did, at least they have never held anybody accountable. There's no accountability. There's no transparency. Everybody will say, but what did you do when Georgia was there, when CDC was there? At least we're better than CDC with no corresponding data to say you are better than this person. Oh, we are doing better than the Dopoh administration. We're doing better than Chancellor with no corresponding data to support their claim. So we are just in the vicious cycle. And then as we were driving over the bridge, the Gibraltar Bridge, then later on, we're going to this place they call Dixville. Over the bridge, you look at people doing public defecating. And your foreign friends are telling you, wow, people still do this here. I mean, embarrassing. And then these people sit there and say, at least 1.9 kilometer, of mile. That is, can you imagine now in 2026, we are celebrating in the capital city, rehabilitating 2 miles as though we have hit the jackpot. And the signing ceremony, look at this, a whole nation, the signing ceremony alone, like we have, we have created or found something that's worth patenting. We have patented something that we say we will bequeath it to our nation, the whole Republic of Liberia. I don't think we have any right to any patent, nothing, no discovery, nothing. Fanta, this is your corridor. This is your LP. They come from the Port Authority. You're going over the Gabriel Tucker Bridge and you just bouncing in and out. For years we've been doing this, and the people say, at least we're getting somewhere, at least. So are you one of those who believe in this? At least we're getting somewhere.
Mr. Give me, I'm fasting. Oh, I'm fasting.
Oh, I forgot. God bless you. God bless the Liberia government. We are fasting. Starting the 19th of the month. You're going to be coming with fire. When this thing is over on the 18th, I think on the 18th. So enjoy your freedom for now, but come on the 19th. We're going to be coming with fire. Go ahead.
No, let's look, any FDI with the country should be celebrated. However, we have to always be speculative, considering the endless examples we've seen of similar signings, right? A foreign entity provides a grant for $60 million for a 2 miles road. First of all, as a daughter of an engineer, growing up in an engineering household, I have a little bit of knowledge about this to say that it doesn't take $60 million to pave a 2 miles road. Maybe there are extra costs in there that I'm not foreseeing, but it's very interesting. I also saw they're asking for additional like 35 million, or the entire ask was for 35 million. You have to keep in mind that there are diplomatic conversations happening about give and take. So a country will not just sign you a $60 million or $35 million check without any expectations for future business or for existing business or interest. The formal term here is lobbying, right? So they give X, they support politicians' campaigns, they fund certain projects. In return or in turn, you have to do them a certain favor. Maybe today we don't know what that favor is for Japan, but Liberia and Liberians should understand that whatever the amount is, be it 60 million or 35 million, as I saw elsewhere, we probably owe times 4 or times 5 to Japan, because we are so poor mentally. We are so broken that we lack the capacity to negotiate from a place of leverage. So when we often negotiate is always current term, right? We're always looking at what we can get today. What can the man give me today so I can put it in my pocket, right? You're not looking about the trade-offs. So what I mean by that is what Japan is going to get in return is going to absolutely be times 4, times 5, whether it's a mining concession, whether it is some type of contract that's going to happen today or going to happen sometime here very, very soon. They're going to come back knocking to say, hey, remember when we gave you that 16 million? Remember we gave you that 35 million? We're here to collect on that. So to think that, oh, this is a grant and we should be welcoming to it, I am always very skeptical, because I tend to do a deeper dive into these things and know that with these, it's the same concept with aid from the US or aid from like the EU. There's always conditions, right? And something else I wanted to get into just before like I wrap up with Liberia, among I think 14 or 19 African countries just signed one of the most ridiculous health aid or policies with the United States. Policies that mandate the US will have absolute control or access to sensitive health data of those countries. What that means is that they will have access to Myean DNA, Myean child DNA, Musu DNA, the Musu entire biology, the type of illnesses that she have. They're going to use that data to for their medical system, right? To do a lot of whether it is vaccine or research, and frankly, at the end of the day, discrimination. What is not realized is that these millions of dollars they're giving you, it's not free. Attached to it are conditions that we often don't understand, or we're too selfish to process. We're too selfish to prevent any future ramifications that is often associated with them. So should we applaud Japan 1635 million, whatever the number is? Have at it. I'm very skeptical of it, as we all should continue to be very skeptical and critical of these aids, right? Grants that come into our countries and our leaders are signing on behalf of the people, because at the end of the day, what they're taking in return is a lot more.
Dr. Peabody, we got 20 minutes yet to go. We got to talk about this as it affects our folks. We've been hearing about these grants, these money that are coming in, and Liberia has a history of kicking the can down the road. Where, listen, I got mine, and hey, you go and get yours. Whether it affects the folks, our children, our pregnant women, nobody cares. They take the money. Like what happened during the beginning of this administration, where from the beginning, it was $20 billion that were given to fix the road. They came back and said, no, we didn't use all the money. We got $8 million remaining, but they won't tell you where that $8 million is. Whose account is that $8 million in? What's the legal ramification that if you don't use the money, where does it go back to the central account? Up to now, nobody knows where that $8 million is. Now we're going back into another $60 million here.
Look, Mr. Gayman, if I have my way, every grant that go to Liberia will not go in cash. It go in the project, and then you give me the contractor, I pay the contractor, and they do the work. Because it has been proven that our people don't manage well. That's why we saw, I think it was Norway or Denmark who was withdrawing the funds from Liberia and putting it to 1 second. Okay, it was Norway who was taking the money back and putting it into into other countries, because it's one of the continuing to say they have not seen what's been happening with the funds they've been given to Liberia. We have become too complacent with money from our foreign partners, misuse it, and give no account of it. That's why countries are very hesitant to even give us bigger grant, because nothing they see happening with the money. A lot of money that go into that country that is saffron. Nothing happens. You see, projects that should benefit people. If you go see some of the healthcare projects that international community are giving money to, and see some of the places they're building and say this is a healthcare facility, and it's sickening. It's very sickening, because they don't give account of it. So they feel that there's no real justice system that will hold them responsible. So they don't care. If you have a justice system that really persecute people and people that serve for the time, when grant come over, when foreign money come over, you will use it to put it to the cause of where it goes. But people don't do it, and that's why we see all the grants we get, nothing happen. You get a lot of grant coming to that country. Country are now deciding to give it to us more as a debt rather than giving it to us as grant, because they see that we misuse it. But you give it to us as debt, generation and generation will pay for it. You see what I'm saying? But it doesn't make sense at all. And what we see in that country is terrible. It's terrible.
Last but not the least, it says here, the border tension in the Mano River Union Basin raises alarm. A recent border confrontation between Liberian workers and Guinea and the Guinean soldier in the north of Liberia has reignited concerns about fragile security in the Mano River Union region, a sub-region that only 2 decades ago was devastated by wars, insurgency, and cross-border instability. The latest incident unfolded on March 2nd near the Salumba border crossing, where armed Guinean personnel reportedly confronted workers from BK Enterprise who were operating heavy equipment for the Foya Bond Road project. According to local authorities, the soldiers forced the workers across the border at gunpoint and confiscated bulldozers, dump trucks, and were being used for road construction in Foya. The seizure abruptly halted construction work on a critical infrastructure project aimed at improving connectivity in northern Liberia. I mean, can you imagine? The people came and took the people at gunpoint, took their bulldozers, their dump truck, their heavy-duty equipment. What is? I mean, are we just that weak?
Yeah, we are. To be honest, we are.
How can you take people? Bulldozers, dump truck. These are heavy-duty equipment for road construction. They confiscated all of that.
Yeah, we're very weak to that level. But I think it was an isolated situation. I did read something today where the government said that the issue had been resolved. I don't know how much, but it seemed like there need to be proper channel, proper law and order in that place, proper communication. I don't know what the level, because Guinea will do this all the time. They come up there. The other time they arrested somebody from Liberia. They sent people into Liberia and arrested that guy and took him to Guinea and killed him because the government decided to give him up, and they took him there and killed that guy. So I don't know what the relationship with the Liberian government and the Guinean government, but it's been very soft. The current president of Guinea had never visited Liberia before. I think because he was on ECOWAS ban. I don't know how far that ECOWAS ban can go because you got leaders then who going for second, third time like Ouattara and other people. Now he bringing his brother to put in power and all of that. So the ECOWAS is very weak. To be honest, they're very weak. They couldn't solve the problem in Mali. They couldn't even solve the problem in other countries. They're very weak. So and Liberia is very fragile. Let's be realistic. Very fragile. Guinea has a very strong army, very strong. I don't know, but I think they need to work on it on a diplomatic level because we can't fight them. To be honest, we don't have the manpower to fight Guinea. We can't do that. So we have to be resolved on a diplomatic level. I don't think we have the manpower to fight Guinea. That's all.
So in response, the Minister of Local Government, Francis Tomalin, led a mediation delegation to the border area and convened an emergency meeting with the Guinean officials. Somebody took your stuff. What kind of mediation is that? Why do you go mediate? It's not like you got dispute over who owns the stuff. The people keep a whole company operating in Liberia where we're looking for job, employment. They took all our bulldozers, our dump trucks, all of our equipment. And you say you go mediate what?
Now, who drove it though? Who drove the bulldozers?
They said they took them at gunpoint. They seized her abruptly. I mean,
they brought their own driver then to carry them.
No, they said they held the Liberian drivers at gunpoint and took it across the border.
I would not carry it. I'll say, you know what, you'll shoot me.
The latest incident unfolded on March 2nd, just last week, near the Salumba border crossing, where armed Guinean personnel reportedly confronted workers from BK Enterprise who were operating heavy-duty equipment for the Foya Bond Road project. According to local authorities, the soldiers forced the workers to take the trucks across the border at gunpoint and confiscated the bulldozers and dump trucks that were being used for the road construction. They came and took the people by gunpoint. They drove it across Guinea and then they let them go and then they confiscated the stuff.
Wow. Yeah, they need to resolve it because we can't even make Guinea. So what this thing will be done, Mr. Gayman, and to be dissolved diplomatically. I wish Sylvester were here. Maybe he would have some idea. But these kind of situations have to be resolved diplomatically. We don't have that control. We don't have that manpower. Our army is not as strong as, we have a new army. Guinea have had an army all along, you see, but I don't think this should create a regional tension because right now the world is at war, and if you start something, nobody will pay attention to Liberia. To be honest, nobody give a fig for Liberia anyway. So if you start something like that, it could be very dangerous for the country.
It says here, the equipment seizure is not the only incident fueling concern along the border. Reports have also circulated last year of Guinean border patrol officers entering Sifudu, a Liberian town, a border town on the Liberian side, and allegedly lowering the Liberian flag, taking down the Liberian flag. An act widely interpreted as symbolic provocation and disrespect. What?
Yeah, you don't have that much patrol or police on the border, so those are situations that get involved because we can't fight Guinea. If we get to something with Guinea, it's going to be very bad for Liberia, for both sides. You don't want to kill, stuff like that. So I think issues like that have to be resolved diplomatically, stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me, Tomalin, this one here, how can they attack our border patrol, come into our country, take all of our bulldozers, all of our equipment, our bulldozers, our trucks, our heavy-duty equipment? Now, did they even come and steal it? They may also drive it into Guinea, then they took it. That is just...
But it's under control now, though. It's under control.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's under control.
The way you talking there, we can't make those people because give them power.
It's under control. The Minister of Internal Affairs, the Chief of Staff, the Director of Passport, who else again? They went at the border. Went to Guinea and had a meeting with the Guinean Minister of, I think, Internal Affairs too, and the harmonized. So I think that issue has been resolved. Yeah. So, but just show you how porous our border is, and just imagine if Donald Trump said tomorrow, say, I want that government like bro to step down. They will not even argue.
Yeah, we got I think we got 20,000 people in the army. Do we have 20,000?
The army is 2,000.
The thing I've been watching in the Iran war, they're gonna miss that and drop it, they're gonna fire. You will not even argue. You will say, something? Okay.
Take it.
Yeah. When Bush told us, they said, tell her you have to leave. Then they said, but why you don't leave? He said, Bush, I won't take no for an answer. I said, but anything,
The U.S. ambassador said all it took was 100 Marines for the whole country, 100 Marines for the entire nation of Liberia. But Tomalin, we have covered. I know you've been busy. We have covered a lot here, but let's look at the last one here. The Ghanaian envoy assures justice will prevail in murder of Liberia. And the Liberian reaffirmed continuation of the bond between the nations. And we talk about this, and I'm glad, the people think that we just sit here and talk. Like you said, Tomalin, the government officials listen to what we say here. And I'm glad we were able to raise this now. It has been raising to the national level. It's on the front, look, it's on the front pages of the papers.
Which one?
Okay. So,
which story on the front page?
Oh, no, the front page Africa carried a story today.
Oh, okay.
About Ghanaian envoy assures justice will prevail in the murder of a Liberian, reaffirming continuation of the bond between Liberia and both nations. Ghanaian ambassador accredited to Liberia, Godwin Bleton Myean, has expressed regret over the recent brutal killing of a 26-year-old Liberian national, Austin Tengbet, in Ghana. Tengbet was murdered following a mob attack at an apartment complex in Sokomo in February 27. The Ghanaian envoy craved everyone to remain calm as he assured that justice would be well served and the long-standing friendship ties between both Ghana and Liberia will be uninterrupted. The ambassador assertion on the incident was continuing his speech delivered on February and presented on March 6 on the occasion marking Ghana's 69th Independence Day celebration organized by the embassy near Monrovia. This year's Independence celebration was held under the theme Building Prosperity, Restoring Hope. So the ambassador, after we all raised hell, that listen, this should not be at the level of the police directors. It is a national security issue, and that it should be raised to that level. And finally, it has gotten to the level where the leadership at the very top are now involved. And I'm glad that we talk about it. Tomalin George, we raised that it was not at the level of the police director, it was at the level of the executive. And I'm glad that we were able to pinpoint this. And both government are addressing it not on national TV.
Yeah.
And it would become a deterrent to those who want to take on other Liberians in the country. This is how it's supposed to be handled. And I have to give the government kudos for listening to its citizens. Your thought?
Well, like you said it all, Mr. Gayman, and I think we should give praises where it's due. So I join you in giving the government kudos for it, and at least sometimes we raise the awareness. People are listening. In fact, I told you every day I make sure I send this show to everybody who I know they can reach to. The former president, I send it to make sure I get him. He gave him to watch the show. The opposition leaders, I gave it to them too, so people can watch it. Government officials. Somebody told me, said, I watch the show right away, but sometimes when we on my leisure time traveling, or sometimes when I relax, I put it, I watch it, see what you're saying. It's good to get our perspective from everyone so we can know what's happening, and that's why it's so unique and about this platform. So the things that you're saying, people are watching, and sometimes, in fact, you realize that people will be scared to let something come to your eyes. It's because they know you come here, you don't joke, you don't hold by your punches, you don't just drop it. Like today, I'll read your post. You and
Massa.
Yeah, and I joined Massa because Massa made a good point.
I love Massa. I love Massa. She
made a good point. But I was like, no, but on a strong note, I can enjoy it.
I love the woman. She's brilliant. I mean, she is just, when you read her posting on a daily basis, I join her platform because she is that good. But today we wanted to highlight the two great news that came out of Liberia today. And while we praise them, we still have to admonish them that we will not allow them to slip. That's the $16 million deal to rebuild the highway Freeport. That is a great development. We're going to make sure that this money goes to where it's supposed to go. I heard that the project will take close. I didn't know we're going to take this much, 26 months, almost 2.5 years.
Wow.
Yes. That 2 years and 2 months. That's if it gets started in July 26, July 27, July 28, going into September 2028 before this thing will be done. That's for 1.9 kilometer road would take that long. Wow. 26 months beginning July 2026, and it goes all the way for 26 months if nothing happens. Now, I have not had any update for the past 2-3 years on the Riverfield Highway. I know we're at the end of the show here because I told Fanta about 8 o'clock we'll be closing that. Chief, any news on any development on the Riverfield Highway?
I was told that when I was in Liberia, to be frank, I talked to the people that are doing the road, they told me that road will finish 2027. So that rubber fee corridor will be done by 2027. They will be done 2027. So they will do a lot of work this year on that road, but by 2027, the government should be able to dedicate that road, open that road, and credit should be given to the Ellen government, the WIA government, and a Burger completed the road given to his government. They all played a part in that road network, that road project. It's about time that our own international airport roads leading from that airport should be clear. But talking about the airport, hopefully we have either this week or next week the managing director of the airport, Mr. Ernest Hughes, will be our guest. He'll be doing a lot of good stuff in the aviation area. To ensure that safety, air safety, and so forth. So look forward to hosting him next week or this week. So, but our IA road, I pray and hope that road should be completed on time. I wish it would have finished it this year. You and I just traveled to Liberia. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, people arriving with late flight, they end up sleeping at Farmington. They don't want to dare the road, but imagine the other day I was in Liberia 2 days for my return. The president came from Cote d'Ivoire for Antonio Ouattara's inauguration. And imagine they closed the road where I was on the fire zone side for hours to close the road. The president convoy came and passed. When they opened the road, Mr. Gayman, you won't believe it, as Myean were there too. The president convoy was driving slow because first of all, you got an edited man. And the potholes in the road too, you want to be jumping, popping in the road with him and all kind of stuff. So the convoy was driving slow, taking their own time, which is good. Yeah, because anything can happen. You jump in there, you go in the hole and jump, and then the road is clear because of the convoy. But it shouldn't be that way. Yeah, we should be able to. I believe that once the airport that road is done, people will be able to make some flights. I remember back in the day, Mr. Gayman, before the war, when they said, "Oh, PANELISTS coming tonight, PANELISTS coming tonight," people should be at the airport at night waiting for the flight to come.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the last flight comes in by 8 o'clock. When our Brussels comes on our Infinity, when they leave from there, and I don't even think no plane can sleep at our airports there. No plane can sleep at our airport. The other plane can leave. Now, back in the day, you see, the plane will spend the night over and so forth. But you don't see it happen nowadays. As the other plane coming, and so that Rabatry Road, I pray and hope that road should be completed by this year, man. But it said next year. I was told it said next year will be done. So let's see what happens.
The road, look, again, if you want to be embarrassed, like I've always said, just ride in a car with other people from different countries and let them and just listen. Because when we came from I think it was Mount Bagley, it's one of those places that we came from, Firestone. And the guy said, let's hurry up. We do not want to be, guy from Mozambique, we don't want to be on that road at night. Then he said, Jerome, have you ever felt jittery when you go into that place called Tower Hill, going down Tower Hill? Yeah. He said, you see, they had a little thing that blocked. He said, just imagine if you were sliding off the road. Would those things help you? Yeah. So you are talking about, these are foreign folks. So if we have road engineers, even if Liberians are not doing the work, the Liberian government, the highway, whoever is in charge of the highway should actually make sure that, listen, man, you guys have to put barriers here that if something goes wrong, our citizens are safe, they can be protected. But you're coming down those two hills, when you go from Tower Hill to, how do they call it? Ambush curve.
Ambush curve, yeah.
And you coming down the street and these folks are saying, hey, you got to slow down, guy, because if something happens, there's no guardrail in a construction zone. And you look at these people who are working at public work, most of these folks came from the United States. They know that when they are doing major construction, the guardrail, these huge cement
hold
blocks.
on. You want to talk on the show? You want to say something? Okay. Want to show? Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
These huge cement blocks that they put along these streets, these highways, these bridges, is to help, because at night that could be dark.
Oh yeah.
If you make a mistake, that's what it is. So Tomalin, take us out. I know Fanta just texted me. She's ready to go. Okay, so close her out. Let's do this again tomorrow.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Gayman. Thank you so much. It's been a good show. Over the weekend, at least one of our let me Mr. Gayman, let me make the announcement quickly. I'm so sorry.
Good. Go ahead.
Let me see. There's somebody who this brother, he went our regular, he watched our show regularly.
Okay.
He one of those who can contribute to on having fundraiser.
Good.
So he traveled to Liberia to go see about some stuff for himself. But when he got there, he met up with his brothers. At the hospital, his brother passed away. So let me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's Alvin Logan. It is with profound sorrow that we announce the passing of our beloved brother Patrick Logan, who departed this life on Friday, March 6th at 5 p.m. at the 14th Military Hospital in Liberia after a period of illness. Patrick was a man of many passions and contributions. As a dedicated soccer player, he proudly represented Liberia, playing for esteemed clubs such as Mighty Barrow and LPRC Oilers, inspiring countless young athletes along the way. In his professional life, Patrick worked at the Ministry of Education for over 10 years until his passing. Patrick's love and dedication touched many. He leaves behind his loving wife, Fidelis, 6 children, a grandchild, mother, Mary, Logan, and siblings, Jeffrey, Bobby, Catherine, Alvin, Precious, Prince, Trocon, Angeline, Philip, Lester, and Hezekiah. His body is currently at Moses Funeral Home. Funeral services will be held on Saturday, March 28th at the Tomalin Memorial United Methodist Church, located at Pinsville City, Monserrado County, at 11 a.m. Wakekeeping will be held on Friday, March 27th. Venue will be announced soon. The family kindly requests prayer, support, and condolences during this difficult time. Yes, can you imagine, Mr. Gayman?
Yes.
The guy who died, I know him very well, up on Habel. The young man, the man, his wife is in the States, his children here, they're putting in paperwork. Everything was on course before they put this pause to they put a pause to the whole thing about parting for your family members.
Jeez.
And so everything was set. I mean, the girl is, I think someone in Pennsylvania, she's devastated. I'm telling you. Imagine you're expecting your husband to come and anything happen after all the effort you work hard, you put everything to it for your husband to come and then this happened. It's really devastating. I'm telling you. And I watched Patrick play for Barrow, watched him play for Oilers.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember
watching and then your siblings they flying into Liberia to go and meet with you, so you might carry them to the engineer to go bid a property. Why thinking they're going to meet you now? And when I got there, they had to go to the hospital. And he said, the brother told me, said, Tomalin, the hospital clean, but imagine the room my brother was in, the heat. You're there breathing fast by. He said he died from heart attack. And he said if my brother was in America, he would have been saved.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I feel for the family, especially his wife and the children. They're expecting the dad, they're expecting her husband, and then he passed away. Just a heart attack. But my condolences to the family again. So very sad. Hopefully, we'll get to Alvin later on. But also on March 20th, April is the month of autism month.
Okay.
And we're having Jacqueline Robertson Cooper.
Okay.
Jacqueline Robertson Cooper, actually, she on Facebook, very popular. She's her daughter Jimmy. She'll be coming as our guest on March 20th to talk about autism and the challenges and the awareness. She'll be our guest. We'll be dedicating the show to her that day for autism, and she'll be here with her daughter, perhaps, and she will tell us about being an autistic parent, a parent of an autistic child, and what it entails, so people can understand. So when they see autistic children, they can know what the parent goes through and how they are also living normal lives too, but just because of certain challenges. So she'll be here. And then next week, Monday, Councilor Mariah Yakula will be our guest. She'll be here with us next week, Monday. So, and then I'm also will confirm the date. You know, the documentary about William R. Talbot, by the Liberian award-winning filmmaker Gerald Barkley. Gerald Barkley, yes. Gerald he'll be our guest on the show too.
Yeah, we just talked about it.
Yeah, yes. So he'll be coming on the show to talk about this film, about William R. Talbot documentary. So looking forward to having these important guests coming. So that's and then over the weekend, another regular follower too celebrated her 50th, and I was with Robert Garguah, we all together. Mr. Cummings, we all together there too, and Myean. You can put the pictures up. Let's see it before we leave. You know.
Myean Sego.
Yeah. But Myean, you know, Myean myself communicate 24/7 all week, all day. So he home right now. He went in the show from home. Myean, if you get a chance, get put up. Don't give me We got 3 more, 4 more. 850.
Yeah, let's go. Let's let you put it on.
Yeah, Myean. Yeah, so we look forward to
That's good. Was it in Atlanta?
In Atlanta, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So well, it was great. It was a good thing. At least, Mr. Cummings and I we had a very good time there. We talked.
Okay.
Robert Garguah was there too. Robert was very hospitable to me.
Good.
Yeah, Robert. Well, just that my flight was so squeezed up, quick in and out. Yeah, but quick trip, less than 12 hours I spent there. We're back. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you get money, you can do that. Your private jet.
But you know, they got some kind of something they call if you're looking for cheap flight, they call it ASAP flight.
Listen, somebody just said Joseph Boyka gave you one of his private jet.
I wish, Joey said, he said, Boyka can lie.
Yeah, all minister can lie. Yeah, hustler.
He said, Boyka can lie. And you know,
is it all hustling?
All hustling. Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there's more Gasu.
Okay.
She's one of our regular follower of the closing argument.
That's
and
good.
Robert Garguah and I was there on 50th. Yeah.
Wow, that's a beautiful dress she's wearing. Hey, Lord. Happy
birthday. That drag, I put a story behind that, but we'll leave for another time. I probably more than that about it. But put the picture of me, Mr. Cummings, and Robert myself, Abaya. Yeah.
Maud, happy birthday to you, and 50 got nothing on you, baby. You're looking beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was great. 50.
Yeah. So we were there with just to cheer her up.
And ladies and gentlemen, we don't call women's age unless they approve it. We don't do that here. But it was her birthday, and she made it, that way. So we're not doing anything against the will of the
Myean slow, man. What the picture there? That do cook man won't go.
Come on now. You can take it. The man hand was in drip there. You gotta take him a while to get up.
I know, right?
Tomorrow we'll be talking about the resignation of this young man from ELBC.
Yes. Let me the comments are out there.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. ABC.
Come in. What's happening, young man?
Oh, man, ABC can dance, my man. I enjoy him, my man. He can dance. He had the flow.
They've been from the old school.
Oh, yeah, man. I enjoy ABC. ABC was partying it. He partied good. Yeah,
listen, man, you got one life to live.
Yeah, ABC, man, all the way, you know.
That's a Marty man.
Yeah, and then the great Robert Garguah was there. Our TCA celebrated Hollywood star, Robert G. Garguah.
Okay.
Robert too, he was killing it too.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You call him, he was so pop up.
It was a great time we had there.
That's good, man.
Well, Mr. Gayman, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you.
Yes. Let's listen, man. We having a great time.
Yeah.
We love what we do. This is nice. I keep telling the guys, people who keep asking about Ben Sanvee. Listen, Ben, everybody's coming back. This job is very difficult to do. These guys did this thing for 2 years nonstop during the whole campaign. Let them take some time off, rest. Listen, starting 2027, we'll be right back to that. We'll be right back to talking politics all day. So yes, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Let's do it tomorrow. Yeah. Don't forget our new segment, What's on Your Mind. And I like the way you guys are doing it. You are putting what's on your mind in the comment section, and we are reading it. Because before we go to, by the time we come to the show, a lot of things happen behind us. You are on the ground and it affects you, something new you want us to talk about, it's on your mind. Talk about it. We will talk about it. So I like the new segment, and I want to thank the management of the platform. And when Honorable George said we should try it, it was unanimous. It's great. You know, you got to spice it up. You can't do the same thing every day over and over. That's why I got this platform dynamic. And if you get something new that you think we should try, if it works somewhere else, they call it best practice. Who cares? We'll do it. If it works for you, it works for us. That's why the platform is all about. It's interactive. I'm new to the platform, but the guys who started this thing, they don't hold back. They don't hold you back. They don't say this, don't say that. No. That's the beauty of this place. When Fanta comes, she comes with her firebrand. Oh yeah, I love it. And she got a place here.
Fanta got her fans. Then people admire her. People want to yell all the time.
Because she's not political. Look, listen, sometimes you don't have to be politically correct anymore, man. Sometimes
no.
You know, we got people like Tomalin, George. We got these guys. They are the politicians. They can say things that will make you feel good. But for some of us, we tell you straight up, man, they say you lie. They say what Joe we are saying, the president can lie, the minister can lie.
The boy can lie. The minister can lie. They put the hospital there. They put it.
He said, so hospital. Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow, Chief.
Okay.
God bless, guys.
Disappointment. Now the vice president often tell me, since he got a seat as vice president, how many persons have recommended in this government to serve in the government as presidential appointee? 0. Every appointment in Nima County was done by him. He and I would discuss something as a brother. To implement it, you will bypass me and do different things. I don't talk on it.
Now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us. you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that the question that we ask.
The good person in our whole United Party that President Bouaka. You want to say that again? The only person that appreciate good among all the United Party for that President Bouaka. The rest are ungrateful. The right, they use you and dumb you. But President Bouaka, if all of them were thinking the President Bouaka and behaving the President Bouaka, United Party will have another chance in 2029. Just for now, they do not regard people that help them.
Of our soldiers were executed on this party ground. 2 at the back and 1 right at the headquarters. The man who shot and killed our people today is a darling boy in the Liberian National Police. They brought him back to shoot more guns. Get ready to shoot. Because we challenge the status quo appropriately. Inform that the violence or still any student because of the action, it will be the day the entire Brothers administration will cut down. We will massively violate the students in this country and we'll shut down the Brothers administration. The day that happens, we have the capability to do so. And if they think this renovation project is a joke, let them try it. The fall of the Brothers administration begins with this. If they think they will tumble on any student in this country or at the University of Liberia and water in Infinity, while our children saving opponents and lottery in the Western world, while we are subjected to agile poverty and bad learning conditions here, and the thing will say.
In the first 100 days, no car will get stuck on the major road in this country. And I mean it.
You say it a lot?
It's going down. First floor. There you have it.
That led to decades of war still run deep. But so too does the longing for reconciliation. A reconciliation defined not by political bargaining or by an artificial balance of power, by tribe, region, religion, or ethnicity, but by the equality of opportunity and a better future for all Liberians.
Bouaka can lie, the government, all the ministers in the government, they can lie. They don't put all hustler, they put hustler, they lie. Everything they say, they never say the truth.
Today, the supporters of His Excellency Joseph Bouaka presents him as a poor man from Nofa and aside that he will understand the plight of the poor people. Fellow Liberians, do not be fooled. Vice President Bouaka is not poor like you, not even as me. As Vice President, his office received more money from the government budget than any other Vice President has received in Liberia's history. He has enjoyed some of the best and most lucrative government jobs.
First of all, there's this, what I call sort of vicious lie about the fact that Mr. Pewee is gay or bring gay lifestyle to Liberia. It's complete bullshit. When people can accuse you of stealing people's money, when they can accuse you of being involved in war, anything, people don't make up stuff. They don't make up shit. Excuse my language, right? So it's complete nonsense. I'm married, 8 Teresa, 2 children, 5 grandchildren. I believe in traditional family values, so it's complete bullshit, complete nonsense.
Jamaican, young man, vice president, young man that vice president, the major stole 500,000. I mean, Jamaican, the major went to I forget that Jamaican. The majors went to Ghana, the fit, and they may bring it all company in the country. I mean, Kun can reach yourself. Kun man, you know, Kun, but I want to sophisticated, quiet, hardcore rule in Liberia. But Liberia,
when 2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There wounded out first, all men on board.
Everywhere there is no school, I will put school. And everywhere there is school and school in bad condition, I will renovate it. I told them, towns and villages, everywhere you will have lights in a town for children to play and people to see. I told them, every town will have safe drinking water.
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
The government that capital road, small road, B road, all kinds of. I think the reason Joseph Baka will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.
Your league Costa, God know how to pay people. It's just simple. Costa that accused everybody but himself. Everybody, we join, we accuse Joe, he came to the Baka still living. Joe, no, you leave better. He made me senator. He almost made Joseph Baka president until he screwed up. We gave God the glory. Yeah. Well, Baka, when he screwed, he said, oh, we don't want to make sure we will fought for him to be reconciled with the president. And then the people who fought for him. Look, your league Costa, you will come. And Costa was in a podcast, he said, they don't been calling me. Okay. The time you were calling me for me to kind of Bwaga, did I put it on radio? That immaturity to do what he talking about.
And I guarantee you, when we finish, there will not be a winner or the loser. Today we all wear the jersey of Liberia, and the victory belongs to the people, to the peace, and to our democracy. As we begin to build upon the foundation of this new Liberia, I, George Seleke Kromah, the new president, will first give thanks and praises to the Almighty God for the blessing He has bestowed upon our country. And I say, my people, thank you,
We elected on 85 irresponsible men what happened to our country. We elected on 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.